Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. And Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure. Yeah.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out, procrastination, putting it off, kicking the can down the road. In, plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out, carpet in the bathroom. Like, why? In, knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
This week, in Layland, West Virginia, a man's body is found dangling by his foot from a local bridge, and the story of how he ended up there is one for the ages. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. This is one of the craziest episodes we've ever done by far. I'm telling you, the story is bonkers. It's if this was in a movie, it would have to be a comedy. Like you would hear like boing, like sound effects. It's that insane. It's crazy. Wait till you get to it.
Is that 8 heads in a duffel bag? Is that?
Oh, it's sillier than that. It's sillier than that. It's insane. It's West Virginia hilltop justice. Yeah. It's insane. So we'll get to it. Don't worry about that. First, very quickly, just a couple of things off the top. Thank you for your reviews this week. Apple Podcasts, that purple icon is the place to go. If you have not done that yet, please give us 5 stars. Say something on there. Doesn't matter what you say, but it helps drive us up the charts. So thank you for doing that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything small town murder and crime and sports related. Listen to Crime and Sports if you have not. It was War Machine this week. The man changed his name to War Machine and then lived up to it. So you can check.
Legal.
It's his legal name. You can check that out. Crazy episode. Also, that's every Tuesday. Also listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday. Check it out. Do all that. Get your merch. Get tickets to live shows, because it looks like they're going on from the summer on anyway.
Yes.
We're planning on being on the road from July on, so hopefully get those live shows tickets and come see us, and we're excited to see you out there.
Yeah.
Do that. We have bonus episodes coming out of our asses here. So if you want to be a Patreon subscriber, lots of good reasons to do that. You can do that over at patreon.com/crimeandsports, or you could just go to PayPal and make a one-time donation just to be a nice person using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. Bonus episodes have been insane this week, lately. Last week we did the all violent felon edition of the prisoner dating game. And I have to tell you, if you haven't heard it, it's worth signing up for. It's one of the funniest things we've ever experienced. It's insane and really funny. Jimmy does not know what the people did till after he chooses them, which makes it hilarious, but they're all violent felons.
Makes it terrible.
We have synopsises of what they've done, so it's awesome. Listen to that. So everything
it's like
that.
When that dating game killer guy, the guy who was everybody on the panel is him.
Everybody. Or worse.
Or worse.
Or worse. That's the thing. You never know. You never know. Quick disclaimer. This is a comedy show. This is a comedy podcast. We're comedians. We're going to talk about murder. We're not going to lie. We're going to talk about murder. Crazy stuff's going to happen. And we're going to make jokes about a lot of things around that. Sure. We really are, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, especially in the hills of West Virginia, like we are here this week.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. What we're going to go out of our way to do, though, is we're going to try not to make fun of the victim or the victim's family, because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
Now you have it.
And now you have it. This week, a little different, though. We're going to make fun of the victim. You'll see why. Don't worry about it. It's worth it.
Don't worry about it.
Trust us. Just trust us. We're not bad people. We're assholes, not scumbags. Remember that. So now that you know that, that's great. If you think comedy and true crime should never go together, ever, just no jokes around death, then this probably isn't for you.
No.
There's plenty of stuff that you'll like out there, but we're probably not one of them. So you can go away. Thank you.
Good luck finding it.
Everybody wave at those people as they leave. For the rest of you who are hanging out, sitting there, wanting to get back out into the world, let's go. Scare the shit out of your pets.
Yeah.
Scream in the middle of your living room. Make your kids run for the hills.
Make
Scream.
them worry.
Shut up and give me murder. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
Okay.
People's kids going, my big mom's lost it.
She's had enough of this
I
place.
think dad is he might have snapped. I'm
Kids
just
looking at each other going, did we do that to her? I think we broke mom.
Mom and dad are both going down. Yeah, they both screamed, shut up and give me murder. There's a problem here. Well, we're going on a trip. We went from England last week, which everybody's very, we think of it as very hoity-toity. Yeah. We were in sort of a West Virginia-ish area of England, which people in the U.S. are like, we're like, that exists?
Right.
Oh, my God. That's
the people that are here that have been there all confirmed it is indeed that.
And everybody, people from England were tweeting at us all week on, oh, you nailed it. Yeah. What? It's all trash there.
Jordan and Simon have been there a bunch of times. Yeah. And they said it's horrible.
It's terrible. Yeah. Well, we're going to the American version of that.
Okay.
Let's do it. America's taint. Layland, West Virginia.
All right.
Oh, West Virginia. We've had some good stories from West Virginia. Always some of the craziest. This story, I will say, people will say, why do you do the town stuff at the beginning? Because of this.
Yeah.
You have to set the stage of where this is to understand what's happening in this scenario.
West Virginia's got a good reputation for this.
Oh,
but somehow Florida out West Virginia's them and
it's only
keeps it all under the radar.
Because there's more people.
Okay.
Nobody goes to West Virginia unless they have a desire to mine for coal. No one's ever moved to West Virginia on a whim, whereas people just go to Florida because it's warm. So West Virginia, you're born there.
There's people in Florida that it shocks them, that behavior.
Yeah. Oh my, Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
This behavior this week, the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia would go, oh, that's hill trash. You don't go near those people. They would look down on what's going on here.
People shouting in the drive-thru about, she lost her baby.
CPS took her baby. Not she lost it.
I mean, she lost it.
She's crying.
CPS took it.
No, she knows where it is. With CPS.
She's not allowed to have it.
No, but this is Layland, West Virginia. Mm-hmm. It's in southeastern West Virginia, kind of right in the middle of the pan there, and just the mountains. This is in the hills, man. This is hill area. There's no... Oh boy, this is scary. Like if the lowlands people see people coming from the hills from here, they're like, "Oh boy,
they're coming.
Bring the kids inside. They're coming from the hills." It's about...
Do you see the dust?
Oh, boy, they're moving. Here comes Granny sitting on top in a rocking chair. I'm serious, man. This is 2 hours and 25 minutes to Roanoke, Virginia, down to the southeast. About 5 hours up to Cincinnati if you want to go to the northwest. And about an hour and a half to Dunbar, West Virginia, which was our last episode, episode 112, which was all the way back in March of last year.
Really?
So over a year ago. Yep. This is in Fayette County, West Virginia. Yeah. Zip code 25864, area code 304, 2,400 feet of elevation.
My word.
Here, which on the East Coast, that's about as big as it gets. Yeah. It's not the Rockies. Right. So this is the hills, man. This is the top of the hill is where they live. It's an area like that's known as a hilltop something. That's a region. Ridiculous.
Is that the Appalachians?
This is the Appalachians here. Motto here, town motto, that's not coal dust in your lungs. That's home. So, I don't know. That's they're bringing people in, I think, with that one.
Coughing up all that home.
Coughing up chunks of home every day. Those black chunks, that's to remind you of home. Wherever you go. Home. Wherever you go, you're going to go. Brought a little West Virginia with me. Perfect.
Gross.
So Fayette County was one among the 50 counties which Virginia lost when West Virginia was admitted to the Union in 1863 during the Civil War.
Got it.
So when they split up, this was one of the counties that was part of Virginia. Okay. They took some from Kentucky, some from Virginia, that sort of thing here. Now, a little history, just one incident really we'll talk about. On March 2nd, 1915, in the morning, coal dust ignited, which has happened many times, and Layland mine number 3 exploded, killing 112 people.
My fuck.
112 men and leaving dozens of people trapped underground for days.
That's the stuff
with
that
corpses.
Ignites it, huh? It's the dust in the air?
There's dust and all sorts of shit, but coal dust was the culprit on this particular day.
Lord.
There's a bunch of people tried to, go in and rescue people, and they didn't have the equipment they have now in 1915.
You got pulleys and ropes.
That's the thing. So they were able to penetrate gases. Gas everywhere in parts of the mine and detect some danger here and there. It's really what happened was nuts, man. These people were trapped in there, and the weird thing is the damage to the mine wasn't that big, and they were like, "Oh, we'll get it up and running in a couple weeks again." It was up and running in a couple weeks.
And making these people go back to work.
Oh, yeah. They just pull the corpses out, get that thing back up and running, and push them. This is back in the days of company script. You didn't even get paid.
Good news, guys. We got your new canary.
New canary. That's it. His name's Bob. Here he is. He's got a mustache.
A little younger.
43 years old. How you doing? I'm going to go down in there now. So this is the days they didn't even pay in money back then. So they didn't give a shit about, you think coal companies don't care about employees now, which I mean, even if you're a coal employee, people who are coal employees, they know what's going on. They're not, people think, oh, they're stupid working in the mines. No, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing is dangerous. They know it sucks. They know they're not giving a shit about it. It's just nowhere else in that region can you make $70,000 a year doing anything. Just that's it. It's either that or you're poor and you're on welfare.
That's crazy check.
That's it. You're like the whites. There's one of the two ways of doing it. So they work and do it. They do what they have to do because the only other option is to leave. And if your whole family's there and your whole roots are there and you're poor and you can't leave and you stay there and you work in the mine and eventually you explode.
What a wild story, man.
It's fucking crazy. We haven't even got to the murder yet.
Yeah. So. I mean, the big danger is hitting a methane pocket or coal dust, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
But I mean, people are smoking. They just don't give a shit about themselves, obviously.
Well,
so they're just...
There's a fatalism that goes on there where it's like, well, I could die any day in the mine. It's the same fatalism that fucking Baltimore drug dealers have on the Y. It's the same thing.
But you're also like slapping
It's all in the game.
Yeah.
An explosion is the same as getting picked up for trafficking. It's all in the game.
But you're slapping a pickaxe against a rock, and who knows if you hit something that sparks, then it's over.
And and that's what they do too. They have the same exact attitude as Omar.
God,
it's all in the game. That's it. I mean, that's you did it, and I'm here, and I'm doing it, and hey,
unbelievable.
It's a crazy way to live. Now, after 96 hours after the explosion, they were still trying to pull people out of there, and apparently 5 foreigners came bursting out of the mine. 5 foreign mine workers came bursting out. They had cloths over their face and were like running out of the mine.
They'd been burned.
Yeah, basically they were I can't breathe and all that sort of thing, and people were absolutely blown away by this, and they came out and said there's 42 more live people here coming behind us. So brace yourselves, basically, here.
It's going to get real ugly up here.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly. You're going to see some
You're
people.
See some things you don't want to see.
Yeah, that's the thing here. And there was people that were injured by the shock of the explosion. There's people that are, injured by the smoke. There's people that are injured by coal dust. It's everything, man. So
rocks
falling. Yeah, all sorts of shit going on here. A lot of them became also kind of went crazy that were stuck down there. They were, they didn't have. They found they were starving down there. People were chewing their shoe tops and bark from mine timbers, shit like that.
I was doing that last weekend, stuck in my house.
That's what happens sometimes. I chew my shoe tops a lot. Yeah. I'm like, there's nothing. Well, my shoes look good.
My Adidas taste
I'm
best.
Say, these Pumas taste pretty good. I'm going to say the Puma suedes are not bad.
If you're upset that you're stuck in your house, it could be much worse. Holy shit. At least you're not in a mine that fucking exploded.
An exploded mine next to corpses of your coworkers waiting to be rescued so you can live in West Virginia more.
Right.
That's the reward for being rescued.
Welcome back.
More West Virginia.
Fuck.
Going back in tomorrow? Okay, see you at 6.
That's why they keep going back.
They keep going back. So 47 men in all were saved here, and it's wild. Some people actually did a good job of saving people by they made paths so things wouldn't collapse, and so these guys actually ended up getting out based on that. So they did the best they could without the equipment that would be helpful here. 2 bodies had been buried as they were. Oh my God, trying to bury these people because they pull them out. A lot of these people were exploded, so they didn't have. It's not like they could DNA test people, so they had to kind of mix and match. Like, hey, Bonnie, I got this body. I think it might be your husband's.
Right.
Think this head goes with it or what? Hold on, get your kids in here. See if is this daddy's head? Susie, is this daddy's head?
Here's the thing. They wear uniforms, so the body looks the same.
Did
your husband by chance have one size 8 foot and one size 12? Or are these 2 people?
That's fucking hilarious. One lady, they basically told her husband was dead, and she didn't believe it, so she wouldn't even prepare for a funeral, and then he crawled out of the mine a day later.
God, that's awesome.
Yeah,
and he changed his name to Jesus.
Yeah, he was like, no, he ran away into the night. He changed his identity, said, finally, I'm away from that bitch, and he ran away. No, that's not what happened. Now, of the bodies of a bunch of the foreigners were a lot of money. They would keep their money on them like they'd have banks. Well, there was banks, but if you were from another country, a lot of times you didn't believe in banks, especially Italian immigrants, which most of these guys were back then. At this point in time, we were the newest, so we're in the coal mines. Like I said, they check your pockets for pasta, and they go, "Hey, he's nice and greasy. We'll stick him right in the hole. We don't even have to have a big hole. He slides right in there. Look at him. There he goes. All right, Luigi, come back with some coal for us.
Give him his script debit card."
Yeah, no shit. Several had over $100 in gold and hidden on them.
Wow.
Just like their life savings.
And back then, that's a shitload of gold.
Oh, it's a shitload of gold, but this was their life savings. This was like they send this back home. They bring they're saving it to bring people over. This is what they would do back. This is what my relatives would do. They'd save to bring people over.
Like got a bar of gold in his underwear?
Yeah, they'd have garters. Like,
really?
Yeah, like
with like leg pouch.
Yeah, basically like that.
A zipper bag.
One was supposed to have one that they all knew had $1,500 on them. When he was searched, he ended up having nothing. So somebody stole his money off a corpse.
Yeah.
So they said that he must have hidden it away somewhere and never found it, or somebody stole it. Possibly.
What a likely story.
Yeah, most of them were foreigners, and they were members of the Catholic Church, so that made it a little bit easier to identify, as they could take them to the church and go, "These belong to you."
Yeah,
it was kind of one of those.
Money in the plate before?
These guys, you see them? They come over here, put a little pasta, put a little cavatappi in the plate. Is that what they do? Now, there's people here that they interviewed later on, because they had a thing 100 years later about the ceremony for it in West Virginia in 2015. A woman said that her mom had heard the blast from her house and said that caskets were lined up at the foot of the mountain, basically. And, that's your mom could remember that. And so they built like memorials and things like that for these people. But it was crazy. One guy here says, really, until we started bringing it to light, nobody ever talked about it. It was already a forgotten thing. This wasn't even like the legend of the town. Like, they just forgot about it. Oh yeah, those people died. No problem.
Wow.
It's wild, man. So one guy said, quote, I can remember guys getting killed and shipped out of the mines. It seemed like word just ran through the mines when somebody got killed. It was a pretty common thing back then. They didn't have the safety regulations that they have now. A lot of lessons we learned from this accident have saved lives from then until now, and this was the largest mine disaster in Fayette County history. So, and this is that's all this town does.
The county.
This is all this county does is coal mining too. So if it's the biggest, it's the biggest.
It's like a school shooting is today, where there's so many
Yeah.
that you just don't even think about them anymore.
No, here's a guy that worked from 1948 to 52 in the mines, and he said it wasn't much safer when I worked. He said, quote, I was in there late and I started coming out with a load of coal and a rock fell right in front of me. If I would have been 2 seconds later, I would have been under it. So
A big
it was
one.
a
He's not talking about like a fucking rock.
No, he's talking about a boulder
Right.
that would fall on fucking Wile E. Coyote
Right.
in an attempt to kill the Roadrunner.
Split your head open or take a leg.
I'll just smush you down flat,
Right.
and then you crawl away, and then you
Right.
pop up again and go meep meep.
Put a thumb in your mouth and blow.
That's how it works. People in this town, 307 doomed souls.
That's it.
In this area. Yeah. There is nothing around here, man. It is and they're just spread out throughout the hills, man. Just dink, dink, dink here and there. It is bleak. It's up 100% since 1990,
Yeah.
but down 41% since 2000. So people have decided to leave.
Yeah.
Male, it's 63% male. With little people, you're going to get stats out of whack, but this is
And
because
that kind of
coal mine.
employment
Yeah,
around there
exactly.
is going to be majority men.
Yep, 47 is the median age. It's about 10 years older than normal. 35% of the people are between 45 and 54. Coal workers.
Yeah.
That's it. It's usually only 13%, and they have 0% or 85 and older. You are not going to live that long around here.
Life expectancy is low.
It is what it is. Yeah, you're not going to live forever.
You either
around
die
here.
in the coal mine or you die from whatever the coal mine gave
produced
you. Right.
produced to you. 82% of the people here are married, so that's way out of whack as well.
What?
It's an older crowd, and I don't know why, but
Do some of those dudes share wives? Because that number doesn't seem like it makes sense.
I don't have any idea how that works, man.
That means every woman is
probably,
married.
probably.
And some of them have two husbands?
No, you don't add numbers up like that.
But 80% are married.
Yeah.
And let's see, never mind.
Yeah, there's enough for 80% to be married.
64% are men?
There's only 63% are men.
Okay.
So yeah, 63% can match up with. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah, they'll be married.
Wait, that makes 37% women, and if 80% are married, that means that that's 40 men, 40 women. Well, I guess there's gay marriage too.
Yeah.
Who fucking
It's West
knows?
Virginia.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be on the surface. Let's be realistic here.
Somebody's married to the fucking canary in the mine too.
Probably around here. We just love marriage. That's all it is here. Just marriage.
I swear I was on to something there with
Yeah, I
numbers.
was like, no, I don't think so. Single with no children, 0.0%. Get down and party, everybody. Not a lot going on there. Race of this town, 100% white.
That is wild.
Just all white.
That's the first time.
Speckled through the hills.
There it is.
There it is.
We found it.
Hey, we found it. The all-white town in the hills.
West Virginia.
Whoa, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
32.7% of the people here are religious. I don't know if coal is a religion or not, like we've said before about West Virginia, but that's pretty low. And I think they're just like, God ain't gonna save me in the coal mine.
Right.
So there ain't no God in the coal mine.
No.
If there was one, I wouldn't be down there.
I think there's a Jamie Johnson song that he saw the devil in a coal mine, which
That makes
the
sense.
only thing you're finding there.
That makes sense. The majority, the highest group is the Baptists here. Baptists are the Catholics of the hill people.
Yeah.
I don't know. 0.00% Jewish.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't think so. No. No. No.
It ain't there anymore.
No. I wonder if mesothelioma is a religion. You think? If it is, I think that number is going to go up significantly. It's going to be more like 80%. So this town, politically, about 28% Democrat, about 67% Republican in the last election. It's the way West Virginia always is. Unemployment rate about 5.2%. Compared to the rest of the country, which was under 4.
That's not
with these
bad
numbers
in comparison.
No, but it's higher than the rest of the
yeah.
country. Yeah, but it's the income is interesting here. The median household income here is $36,354, which is over $20,000 less than the national average, which is way low. But the way it works, it's basically you make nothing or something. 25% of the people make under 15 grand a year, and 37% of the people make 75 to 100 grand a year, which is apparently what coal mining pays.
Okay.
And then the rest of the people, I assume 25% under 15 is what welfare pays.
Yeah.
So you're probably or some sort of social assistance program. So I think it's pretty much all it is there when you look at everything else is minimal. Now, cost of living here is about, it's low. It's going to be low. 100 is regular, average, par. Here it is 76. So it's a little bit low. And housing is the thing that's driving it down. Because, I mean, it's not exactly a hot real estate market around here.
Is the real estate a 12?
42 out of 100.
Close enough.
Yeah. Median home cost here, $96,300.
Slice of heaven.
Yeah. 231 in the rest of the country. So when you're getting homes for under 100,000 is the average. That's
wild.
You're in a low income area and you're in a rough area here. The houses, 25% of the houses are worth between $20,000 and $40,000.
Okay.
Those are trailers, everybody.
That's not a house.
And then 50% are worth between $100,000 and $150,000. So it's
clear discrepancy.
Yeah, there's a discrepancy. There are the sort of have a little bit and then the have nothings is how it works here.
There's have nothing and then you had a chance.
And then, have nothing and have a job in the coal mine. Right. Those are the two things. So if we've convinced you, you know what? You're going to steel yourself up. Yeah. You've been breathing air cleanly for way too long now. You want to get into a mine. We have for you the Layland, West Virginia Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here is about $670 a month, which seems high.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for that.
That $90,000 mortgage is cheaper.
Well, let's find out what we got here. I found a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,008 square foot shack between two hills. Two hills come down behind it, and it sits right between them. That's where your house, not your neighbors, are hills.
You're in the floodplain.
1.46 acres of hill to go with this. $44,500.
That's so bad.
So an acre and a half and a house. So that's not bad, but you don't want to live there. Put it that way. Found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,264 square foot house.
Okay.
Decent house. It's very wooden. The outside is like wood, like diagonal, like wood slats,
like
paneling, but like diagonal,
tongue and groove kind of
sort of thing. Very wood. Looks flammable as shit, but nice though. $140,000. It's a tinderbox, but $140,000. So that's not bad for that for 2,300 square feet.
Slightly less flammable than a coal mine.
It is a coal mine. I'm selling you a coal mine, everyone. Then I found a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,400 square foot house. It is nice, big porch. You own the coal mine or you manage it or something here on 2 acres. $194,000.
What a deal!
That's as nice as it gets around there, and you can get it for under $200,000. Not bad.
That's your gambles.
That's your gambles.
Betting on black lung.
Black lung. Always bet on black lung. Things to do in this town. The West Virginia Quilt Festival. Oh baby.
Boy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
West Virginia Festival.
Yeah. Give me those pants with holes in them. I'm making squares out of it.
I found the schedule for a couple of days here. From one day here, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 2 to 5 p.m. They have Modern Piecing 101. I guess.
Show you how it's done.
First, I thought it said piercing, and I'm like, that's weird.
That's awesome.
Like, they got like a piercing booth.
Me.
Cool, dude. That's pretty cool. Like, hey, we're going to quilt. Then you can take those needles and fucking stick a hole in yourself, man. And straight line quilting with Diana Beveridge. Yeah. She's going to be taking on all comers that day.
She's got so many lemonade jokes.
Take that for whatever it's worth. So admission costs $8 a day. Wow, or a 16-day multi-day pass. $16 multi-day pass.
I was like, 16 days.
Then the next day, they're back with dimensional thread painting with Joyce Hughes, which I'm honestly thinking about taking a trip out there. I'm upset if I can't get there, the travel and everything. Then there's a lecture, Journey into Quilting and Dimensional Thread Painting with Joy Hughes again. So you can do that. And then finally also, there is the annual it's called the annual Anstead Hometown Festival. And this is where it's at here. This is where you want to be. The local VFW post will host a hot dog sale here as well. Gross. So there's that. Other events scheduled. That's an event. A hot dog sale by the VFW. Other events now, if you're not all tired out from that, if you're not just ready to fall asleep, you can do this. There's a pet show, a canine demonstration.
Yeah.
And fingerprinting by the Fayette County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Let's just all get y'all fingerprint. Ain't this fun? All right, then. Perfect.
Put that one in the bank.
Yeah, let's get
looks
that.
Like a shitbag.
That kid's dirty, and he's going. We're gonna be arresting him in about 6 years. You're gonna want to print him up probably pretty good.
That is a filthy way to get everybody's fingerprints into your bank.
Jesus. Here's a dog. Look at him sniff. Isn't that great? Why don't you just give me your finger? Roll your thumb there like that. That's all right there.
That's how great dogs are.
See him sniffing?
We had that dog jump over a doghouse. Let's see your hand, boy.
There you go. You don't even notice that they're rolling your shit. Like, why is there ink on my hands when you're done? They also
distract you with a hot dog and another dog.
There you go. Dogs everywhere. They also have, this is getting better even, a memorial service at the Veterans Memorial. That's nice. Mm-hmm. A parade. Then comes the main event, Jimmy, the coal shoveling contest.
What?
They're having a coal shoveling contest.
Find out who's going to be good at this.
Who's the best coal shoveler out there?
So
how many heart attacks happen during? Shoveling is the number one heart attack inducing activity there is. How many people just in poor health drop from coal shoveling in this
sounds
contest?
like it's put on by the coal industry.
No, it is. Everything there is.
Right, but they're
doing people with money.
They're doing a background check with your fingerprints and then seeing how well you shovel coal. Yeah. It's a job interview. This festival
it's a job fair. It's a coal mining job fair. That's it. Then a 5K walk.
Yep.
Just to see if you have.
Shape.
Well, you got to walk down in the mine a while, see if you can do that. Inflatables,
right,
to test your lungs to see if you can blow anything up. See, well, he's already only at half capacity. He ain't gonna last long in the mine. Vendors and crafters, karaoke, a motorcycle show, cave walks, and more. And hot dog and barbecue sale throughout the weekend.
Coal
shoveling contest.
The whole goddamn thing is for the fucking mine.
It's for the coal.
Find new fuckers.
Like, look at him go. Guy comes up afterwards like a scout. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Who'd you see? I really like that one.
I saw you shoveling out there, pal, and I got to tell you, we think you got the goods. We'd like to sign you up.
We'd like to sign you right around 32 a year.
We're going to do that.
8-year contract, unless...
You're going to be in the minors for a while now.
No guaranteed money.
No guaranteed. Sorry. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, this is what's going on here.
Fuck.
The sponsors include a bunch of banks, Exxon, a bunch of shit like that, and the Chimney Corner gift shop, which is perfect here. Excellent. Good job. Crime rate in this town, what we're interested here. Property crime, surprisingly, is about 20% low, because that's honestly shocking to me. I figured this would be a higher crime area. Well, but it's not.
Just judging by documentaries I've seen.
That's what I mean.
Those people are lunatics.
I think there's just no law around to stop it. They're like,
they don't document it.
Well, if it's happening in the hills, who gives a shit? I think it's one of those things. Honestly, I think they treat the hills like some fucking police forces treat like the projects in like The Wire, where they're like, they're just killing each other. What do we care? I think it's the same thing, but redneck style.
And then the rednecks treat the hills like Vegas. What happens up in the holler, stay in the holler.
Stay in the holler. You can fuck your cousin and she won't even tell nothing about it. And I mean, if she's 9. Jesus. Crime rate in this town here, about property, like I said, about 20% low. So surprising. Violent crime here, murder, rape, robbery, and assault. Mount Rushmore of crime, again, about 20% low. Shocking, honestly.
It seems safe.
We're going to go back in time a little bit and find out a time where it's not so safe.
Okay.
Let's talk about a murder.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
It's
already a fascinating town.
The town is fascinating, and the people in it matched the town like a hand, like OJ in his glove.
Yeah,
because it really did fit. So it did. Let's be honest here.
He just bent his wrist.
Even his lawyer said he didn't take his anti-inflammatories for a couple days, so he couldn't bend his hands well, and his hand was swollen too. So
Jesus,
he was swelled.
He got some water weight.
It's water weight, exactly. Yeah, that's what he did. So. That's a fact.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, theatrics.
Yeah.
So, January 30th, 1983, we're going to go back to. So picture this as back asswards as we just described this town.
Yeah.
That's 2020.
That's today.
Let's go back 37 years. What do you fucking think this place was like?
Jesus.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I mean, this is like they just started hearing about shoes recently around here. Like that's the type of area we're talking about.
It does feel very reminiscent of a town that maybe just took the buckles off their shoes in, 2015.
Maybe, but like I said, buckles, they hadn't have shoes they just barefoot with the rolled up overalls.
Yeah.
But then they're short because he's had them since he was 9. They bought them big for me when I was 9. I grew out of them, but they're my best fishing pants.
I grew into them, now out of them. But guess what? When I stand in the creek,
it don't matter.
My knees are dry.
Don't matter. Don't matter no how, as Tim would say.
Yeah.
So January 30th, 1983 to be exact here. January 31st is when we will talk about this in detail. January 30th, though, a man is reported missing from this area. He's a man named James Duncan. He's born in 1948. He's 35 years old at this point, and they're worried about him because his truck was found over an embankment down into a river. Oh. So, like, his truck was found, like, down a river embankment, basically off a road.
And so he's not in it.
And he's not in it. And the truck's just like abandoned. He definitely didn't. It doesn't look like he drove it down there. It's not like, I was driving down to the creek to go fishing. It wasn't one of those things.
He didn't overheat it and he was trying to cool it off.
No, not at all here. Not like Tim and Stevie. No. So they find just the truck. So the authorities are wondering where this man might be. Immediately that day, they drag the river right by his truck just to see if maybe he went fell in the river, went in for a swim, got thrown in the river,
crashed into it, tried to get out of the truck, got
Who knows?
sucked under. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. So they drag the river. They don't find him, and it's the mystery of where is James Duncan in this town. And even after just a day in a small town like this, wildfire spreads like wildfire. Where the fuck is James Duncan? They found his truck. Oh boy! And rumors start flying around and everything like that. But it doesn't last very long. No. All these rumors. That's the thing. That night, in every bar and on every front porch in this fucking town, they sat there talking. I heard Jimmy Duncan they found his truck. They found it.
Yeah.
I was down a holler, down in the thing, down by the river, in an embankment.
It's in there?
I like putting emphasis on the wrong sentences. Yeah. It's the wrong syllables. Whatever the right one is, you do the opposite. And that's my Southern accent. My West Virginia, anyway.
Like watching TV.
Up an embankment.
Right.
Watching on the TV. which is weird. And
is.
it's also strange because that's how people in the Bronx used to say TV all the time when I was a kid too. TV.
Yeah.
All the time.
So
That's how
weird.
everybody said it. So hillbillies on a hill and Guinea Bronx people.
trying to make it better. What are they trying to do?
I don't know what they're doing. So the next day happens. Oh my God, this is fucking crazy, Jimmy. I'm so excited to tell this story.
So the truck's wet. No,
it's
Jimmy
not
D.
wet. It's just kind of
it's
down,
just crashing near the creek.
down by the creek, down an embankment, and off of West Virginia Route 41, close to the New River here. So the next day, the police pull up on a bridge, different bridge from here. It's not right by here.
Same water.
I don't think it's the same water, but it might be. It doesn't matter. It's not the same area.
Got it.
So the police pull up on a bridge on their normal patrol, just going through. It's nighttime. And when they pull up on this bridge, it's two Hinton City police officers. They see an object. There's a car stopped on the bridge, which right away is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, what do you do that's positive that you would stop on a bridge for?
Nothing.
There's no like.
Is it over a waterfall? I mean, you want to see that.
It's nighttime in West Virginia.
Okay.
There's no good citizen reason to be stopped on a bridge.
Generally, the person stopped on a bridge is discarding a fucking body.
Discarding something.
Throwing a rifle.
Maybe themselves also. Who knows?
Had enough.
Need to think about it for a minute before they pull off. But they see an object being thrown from this car stopped on the bridge.
Okay.
So when they see a car on the bridge and something fly out of the window, they're automatically curious as police officers. This is what you get on the job for. Shit like this. Oh, shit.
Did you see that?
You see that? Damn. This isn't even go take a report. This is, I just saw something.
I get to put my experience in a report.
Hey, look at this.
I'm not interviewing shit.
We got to chase them and then write a report.
Right.
Usually I just show up, write a report. This is fun. And especially in this town, you don't see shit like this happening.
We get to turn the lights on.
Oh, boy.
Sirens, too.
You gonna do the sirens? Fuck, might as well. Shit, you get the lights, I'll get the sirens. Woo! Look at me. I'm TJ Hooker.
Do that.
It's 83, so TJ Hooker, I feel like, would be his reference. I'm William Shatner and TJ Hooker.
Tom Selleck was a cop on something, wasn't he?
I don't know. He's a cop now on that show.
Oh, it's today?
Now, that terrible old people show that's on CBS. Blue Bloods.
Oh, he's on that?
It's him, one of the New Kids on the Block guys. One of the Wahlbergs.
It's Donnie Wahlberg.
The less talented acting Wahlberg.
The one that, because Mark was busy or wouldn't take the money.
Mark doesn't do TV.
Right.
They're like, oh, Donnie available? We'll give him a call. Hold on. Donnie!
Is Donnie tired of hanging tough?
Open the basement door and call the Donnie. Donnie! You want to be on the show? It's Tom Selleck. What do you fucking care who's in it? What do you care? What have you been doing down there? You're building fucking Lego Millennium Falcons last time I saw you. Get up here and get on this fucking show. Okay.
Isn't he married to an asshole?
Hanging tough. Yeah, he's married to Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, so
he is married to an asshole.
Married to anti-vaxxing Jenny McCarthy. That's why we're saying she's an asshole.
She's an asshole.
She's like, it's.
Oh boy.
We have, as a parent of an autistic kid, there's an internal fight with certain parents, and those are the ones that were like, you get the fuck out of here. You get out of our fuck you.
Yeah.
You're making it worse.
There's a certain I don't give a fuck what you've ever done in your life.
So don't get mad at me for that. That's unless you have an autistic kid and have an opinion on it, you don't know what you're talking about. So enough. So here we go. They see this car. Now, the car throwing the object out sees the headlights come up over the hill, and they fucking screech off.
Oh.
The car takes off.
Now we got to chase.
It's go time.
Yeah.
But just as they see the car take off and they go to chase it and they're like fucking awesome, they see what looks like a figure run away into the trees of a human.
Just goes riding
a man.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, fuck, let's get the person. He'll be easier to catch probably than the car. And he's right here.
And there's nobody in the car now?
They don't know. The car.
Okay.
Well, the guy assumes so. The car drove away.
Okay, it drove away. It didn't just like coast into the woods?
It went from a stop position to peeling out and driving down the road.
Okay.
And a man, they see a man. They didn't see a man get out of the car. They just see a man as they're driving by run into the trees from the side of the road. So there was somebody on the side of the road near the car, and they run into the trees. So they investigate. They get out of the car. get their flashlights out. Now, this is some police work, man.
Yeah.
Side of a West Virginia hill by the creek with a bridge, and a man ran in the trees. I mean, he could be fucking Sasquatch. You have no idea.
We're going to chase footprints.
It's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We're going to get him. We're going to be famous. So they go in to investigate. Now, right away, they don't find the man that they're looking for who ran away. At least they don't think it's him. But what they do find is another man in a very weird spot. Basically, they find James Duncan, who's been missing.
Jimmy D.
They find Jimmy D.
Yeah.
He is dangling from the bridge structure by his foot.
Is it caught?
It's caught.
Oh,
he's
my God.
In
in one of the
superstructure in the bridge.
Jesus.
So it's just, he's dead.
Oh, okay.
It's his dead body.
All right.
Dangling.
Not so right.
No, they know he's dead because basically his chest is open and there's nothing in there.
Oh,
so
boy.
He's pretty clearly dead.
Yeah.
They don't think he's alive. And this would be the most completest suicide ever if this happened. But
disemboweled himself and then jumped
off
to
the
be
bridge.
a part of the bridge.
Yeah, and got caught on. Basically, looks like if the person was jumping, they got caught and they're hung. So there's 1 foot and a guy dangling down. So that's what they find.
God.
They find a corpse dangling from the bridge superstructure. So now they're like, fucking jackpot, police time.
Either that or they're throwing up.
Yeah. A car sped away.
Yeah.
A guy ran in the woods, and there's a fucking body dangling from the holy shit.
Yeah.
This is everything they've ever wanted in a small town. Like,
We got to call
finally,
call
it
the
happened.
chief and tell him this happened. He's not even going
The
to
chief called the mayor and the governor, for Christ's sake. This is great. Where's the goddamn mayor? Get him down here. The city council needs to be here. The fire department needs to come. Bob from the general store should obviously come down here. Everybody going to be asking about it. He going to have to tell him. Get him on up there.
Call us liars.
You know they're going to call us liars. So he's hanging by 1 foot from the Wiegans Bridge here. They initially say he appears to be disemboweled, is what they see. But once they get him down from there, which must have been quite the operation.
Yeah.
Picture this. Picture like a crane and a thing. And I don't know. So we swing it. Picture how the arguments of how they're going to get him down. That must have been amazing. Like
lower the boat. No, low. Jesus.
Shit. Do we get a cherry from the bottom, or are we going to pull him from the top? We going to just like dangle and rappel and tie him and then pull him up like a helicopter.
Damn
what are we going to do?
Tom, you tore him.
Oh shit! Now his leg fell off. So yeah, it's interesting. So they pull him out, and the medical examiner's office said that he is not exactly disemboweled, but certainly mutilated.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you how exactly. There's things missing in there that should be in there. But what they do find is a .22 caliber slug in there somewhere in his chest.
Usually 22s don't do that.
No. We'll discuss what happened here. So they said that he died from a gunshot wound, and that later, afterwards, like very post-mortem, not immediately, someone cut out his heart and lungs.
Wow.
At some point.
Yeah.
And left him splayed open like a 7th grade biology class frog, dangling from 1 foot from the bridge.
Lungs and hearts are usually not so good for harvesting.
No, what are you going to do with that?
Several days
No,
later.
just
how
play
long
with it.
After did they say?
Well, they don't know. They said, but definitely post-mortem.
Certainly, it was over.
Yeah, it wasn't like, within an hour or anything like that. It was
those organs are useless by then.
Oh yeah. No, they didn't try to sell them on the black market. We get money for that. A lung is worth.
The Heart Institute didn't buy it.
I mean, what a fresh lung's worth around here. I mean, we could say it's fresh. Right. They don't know nothing. So
it's still pink.
It's still my.
This is a good one.
Whew, boy. So obviously there are some questions in the area. This is the biggest thing in the hills. It's gonna. I mean, it's fuck. James Duncan's dead. Jimmy Duncan's dead, and everybody knew Jimmy Duncan. Jimmy Duncan's a local carouser. Likes to go down to the tavern and go down and get shit faced and do redneck stuff.
My kind of guy.
Let's not say that yet. Remember, Jimmy, you got to hold back. You're my kind of guy. Let's just for a minute.
Yeah.
Normally we don't make fun of the victims, like we say, or the victim's family, but God damn it, when you deserve it, you deserve it, and we'll talk about it. Not your kind of guy.
No.
He is. If you've ever seen Sling Blade, he is Dwight Yoakam from Sling Blade.
Oh, no.
In real life. That's who this man is.
Ugh.
A drunken, abusive, hillbilly, asshole. I mean, a stereotype that's it's worse than Dwight. Like, Dwight Yoakam is such a bad character in that movie. It's a great character. He does a great job. But that character is so evil of a person. If they went one step further on anything, it would have made him unrealistic. Right. That's how evil he was. If he just
never apologized, it would have made him unrealistic.
Exactly. The fact that he was like, I mean, sorry that you're an asshole and you can't take no shit, but like, it made him human. Like that was his way of trying to, manipulate the situation.
I just wanted to come over and tell y'all I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I cheated on you and called you a bitch. But if you weren't such a bitch, wouldn't have to call you a bitch. And your pussy faggot son
that's
here.
The thing. Yeah, that's what it was. That's where he would go. But I mean, I digress. What I'm saying is, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you raised a pussy son. And you're a whore. Thank you. That's basically...
Now can we get back together? I'm moving back in.
Okay. Now that's that. Mm-hmm. Now there's that, and then there's like the guy from the Dixie Chicks song.
Right, Earl.
Yep. Okay. Now if you combine Dwight Yoakam and Earl, you get Jimmy Duncan.
Oh, no.
That's who you got here.
Jimmy D.
Jimmy D's an asshole.
Not a good Jimmy.
Not a good Jimmy. Okay. Not your kind of guy. No. He's married. Uh-huh. He has an infant daughter and 3 stepsons as well, which... just what you want around this guy. 4 kids, 4 children,
3 of which are not his,
not even his, and they're boys.
They can take a punch.
They can take a punch, and then his infant daughter, who I'm sure he'll be an excellent role model for as a what to go for in the world. Yeah, perfect. Oh, so drunk and abusive. I'll write that down. All right, then I'll be looking for that when I'm 18. So in January 29th, 1983, as of that day, he's married, infant daughter, 3 stepsons. Married to a woman named Cleo. Cleo Duncan is his wife. And that night of the 29th, he went to Mount Hope, town around there, down, I guess, probably the nearest town with a fucking bar. Right. I mean, honestly, like, you had to drive through the hills to get to anywhere. Yeah. These are the type of people that and I don't mean this in like a whatever, because if you have to struggle for food, you have to struggle for food.
Tough life, man.
But these aren't the type of people in 1983, especially, who I don't think take as many trips to the grocery store as much as Jimmy Jr. shot a possum. So we gonna have stew tonight. I think it's more that type of
good news.
Area.
You don't have to go.
Yeah,
because there was just 12 squirrels that ran by. One shotgun blast got them all.
Good news. Raccoon ran out in front of my car. So
we're having burgoo hot dogs tonight.
Having burgoo dogs tonight. It's going to be amazing. Do they put burgoo on instead of chili?
I bet they do.
They probably do. So, this is what these are that type of people. I mean, it's they're not wealthy. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of, and they live in the hills. There's not a lot of things.
They're like survivalists almost, where they can do fine.
They can do, and they get by.
Yeah.
So he's out drinking that night, drinking, getting shit faced in Mount Hope. After he's done drinking, he arrives home late at night. Yeah. We're talking midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. He arrives home, and first thing he does is, Jesus Christ, wake his wife up to say, make me some food.
Oh, boy.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Shit face. Make me food.
Taco Bell's closed.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Oh, boy.
That right there, that tells you the type of person he is. Like, he can't even warm something up for himself. He's got to wake her up, make me food, because that's your job, damn it. I'm fucking drunk.
I drank too much, and I need you to make me food to soak this shit up.
Obviously.
So that tomorrow's not a worse night. It's going to be bad.
It's going to be worse for you.
Yeah.
Now, yes. Fuck, man, this is way out there in the hills, too. Their infant daughter, Cleo's sons were Jerry, Joey, and Bobby, from oldest to youngest. Jerry, Joey, Bobby. Jerry's about 17 years old, and then the other ones are younger than that. Now, first thing he does, she puts some soup in the microwave for him, and he was not happy about that. He thought that the soup was not heated up as much as he would have liked it to have been. Literally, his soup was not hot enough.
Unbelievable.
So he smashed through the bowl across the kitchen, smashed it against the wall,
I can see it,
and chased her out into the yard to beat the shit out of her.
What?
Oh, he went out to go get her. Yeah, he was fucking pissed. Okay. Now, he goes out and gets her. When he comes back in, with her, probably by the fucking hair, he realizes that the fire in the wood stove had gone out. because apparently nobody had fucking stoked it or put more wood on it when they were supposed to. So they fucked up. So now
it's cold in the house.
Now the fire's out when it should be going, and my food isn't warm.
Soup's cold.
And I'm shit-faced.
Right.
And I'm an asshole.
Right.
And it's 1 a.m. And it is... all hell is about to break loose, man. It's...
oh, boy.
It's seriously... this is... like the apocalypse
honeymoon
for
phase
him.
is over.
Oh, I would say the honeymoon is over. Yeah, he freaks out about that, and he's yelling about that. So he told her to make him something else to eat, which he again was not satisfied with. Okay, so again,
attempt number 2 is no good.
No good.
Oh boy,
wood stove's back on. Now you make me something better. This sucks too. Threw it against the wall, and now she knew to run right away. He chases her. She goes outside again. Cat gets her, brings her back inside.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this poor woman, and where the fuck is she running to?
Yeah.
Too. I mean, you're in the hills,
fucking anywhere
the
else.
woods.
Yeah.
That's what. But I mean, like, that's her other option. That's a better option for her.
The woods in the hills of West Virginia are safer.
I'm gonna live in the hills.
House.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'll fall in a fucking mine. I don't care.
I'll take my chances. Whatever wildlife's out there.
Whatever. It's better than this. It has to be.
Yeah.
Now this time though, he's, I'm sure, doing his some domestic violence here. Obviously, he's chased her, dragged her back, and by this time, this had awoken her oldest son, Jerry, because there's a shitload of commotion and it's not a big house.
Yeah.
So he's about 17 years old, and he, like any 17-year-old would do in this situation, and it's not even his dad. Not that your dad would make it any better, but it's not even your fucking dad. He jumps in there and says, hey, leave my mom alone, and tries to get him to stop beating her, basically, because that's all. So Jimmy Duncan says, oh yeah, throws her down and says, fine, I'll fuck you up then, and starts going after him.
Hell yeah.
So Jerry runs out in the yard. That's all. That's your only defense in this house.
Suppose,
It's a small house. You've got a room here, a couple bedrooms.
He's drunk.
Fuck it. And he's, I'm 17.
Right.
17-year-olds too know the woods around their house like nobody's business.
Oh boy.
He's like, I'm gonna hit that trail, go here. I got a fort and a tree and a thing. And he knows where he's going.
He knows how to cut corners and not hit a tree.
That's the thing. Yeah. In the dark.
Right.
So kids are good at that. So, he chased him outside. Eventually there was some sort of truce with them shouting back and forth from him in the woods and him over here, and come on back in, I ain't gonna beat you, and all right, well, what the fuck, blah blah blah, and don't hit my mom, and all right, and everything's gonna be fine. Let's just all talk about it.
Oh boy.
Jimmy Duncan says, let's just all talk about it. Let's just all sit down, have a conversation.
There's a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. First of all, number one thing we got to talk about is y'all are fuck ups.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this is. He gathers them to give them a Dwight Yoakam. Not to say, I'm sorry, I just threw 2 plates of food across, beat your mom twice, chased everybody outside. No. He gathers to say, you made me do that because you're such fucking useless assholes.
Wow.
That's what he does. He gathers everybody in the kitchen to have this conversation. Everybody sit down.
Right.
And, while he's talking, he is holding out a large kitchen knife, shaking it back and forth, pointing it, like telling him, like, you stupid son of a bitch have to put more wood on the fire. He's using it like a pointer, a fucking butcher knife. Right. So this is uncomfortable, obviously.
Yeah.
A little bit. He's gotten the other 2 boys awake too now. He got them out of bed to sit because they're just as responsible for the damn wood stove going out. Right. So everyone's sitting, waking the kids up at 2 a.m. So drunken stepdad
for a drunken ass chewing,
looking over while your mom just, your brother's got chased in the
Mom's got red welts on her face, and you're telling me that I'm a piece of shit. I was just dreaming, man.
I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. We're in crazy land.
I was in REM sleep.
That's what I'm saying. So, it's at that point that, there's a gun in the house as well. Yeah. There is a gun behind the kitchen stove, why would you keep a loaded gun behind a hot...
Not there.
That's where you keep ammunition, next to a hot box of something?
Generally, I mean, the box doesn't get hot on the outside of it, but in West Virginia, I imagine nothing there operates the way
that's
it's
what I'm saying.
To.
I'm not putting live ammunition leaned up against my oven.
Fire.
Near right by it. They probably have one of those pre-World War II ovens where, one of those old things where if you walk by too fast, the pilot light goes out and everybody dies of fucking gas inhalation. One of those. So, he's lecturing the boys on how to keep a proper fire going with the knife, and then he gets the gun out as well. Because when you're instructing young men on how to do something properly, you should be armed, usually.
I mean, really, the best instructions that I ever really absorbed the most were at gunpoint.
At the point of a gun. That's obviously.
Move. I didn't move.
You listen. You're going to get all the thing.
Hands duct taped behind your back. Don't move. As you wish, sir.
That sounds good. You got it, pal.
I'll do it.
So this gun is his mother-in-law's gun. Mm-hmm. This is Cleo's mom's gun that they keep in the house. Her mom, Dorothy. Dorothy Grubb is her name. Double B.
Okay.
Dorothy Grubb. Yeah. Now, Dorothy lives next door as well, because this is that kind of area where your family all live next to each other in the hill.
But next door, it's like...
It's a house.
The next door down the way.
Down the way. Well, she lives pretty close by, actually, because I think it's like multiple houses on it. I don't think they have many acres, these people. It's, we'll just build a couple more shacks up here. And so Dorothy lives next door here, and she actually heard the commotion going on because he's yelling and screaming, and so she came over. Like, it's enough to wake up someone in another structure in the middle of the night. That's loud.
Yeah.
That's fucking loud.
If somebody's running through the night after they've been pummeled, there's probably some screaming.
That's outside.
And a woman's scream when she's been hit,
that's true.
You can recognize it.
And a kid yelling back and forth.
And the first time you hear it, you might go, did they figure it out? She's back in the house. I think they figured it out. The second time, though, you go, I'm going to go investigate this shit.
Probably not dual pane windows on this house either, keeping a lot of the sound in. This is probably
sounded like she was screaming right into her ear.
Through a screen, probably, if there's a torn screen. I don't know if that holds sound in very well.
Something that lets the mosquitoes in.
Yeah, just a mosquito. What are those things?
The nets?
No, the goddamn... the rotating doors. What are those fucking called? Revolving doors.
Revolving doors.
It's a mosquito revolver.
Yes.
That's it. Like, at hotels to keep the cold out. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So Dorothy pops up in the middle of the night. Picture her in her bathrobe. Lights on. Everybody's screaming. Broken plates and food all over the place. Kids are crying. Women are crying. There's gunplay. There's knives around.
She's rubbing her eyes with morning breath.
What the fuck is happening? She's probably drunk from the night before.
She's licking the roof of her mouth.
How much did I drink last night? I had too much gin.
The fuck is happening in this trailer?
So she comes over and tries to disarm him. Now, somehow, she's in her 50s, this lady. She's like 58 years old, I want to say. She's in her late 50s. There's an abused woman and 3 children and a guy with a gun.
Oh, boy.
Somehow, in this melee, James Duncan ends up getting shot.
Oh, really?
One shot is fired in this melee. One shot, and it's James Duncan, and he falls dead to the floor.
Really?
Must have been a fucking immaculate right through the heart or one of those things, because he died fast, they said, too. It was just fell, and he's dead. Oh, shit. And we don't ever know. We think Dorothy is the trigger man here.
I was just going to say, is Dorothy just like a bad bitch?
But they don't know, because they tell conflicting stories about exactly what happened. But what definitely happened is, it's a 22 caliber rifle, shot him in the chest. He goes down. Okay, so he's dead. She then freaks out, Dorothy, and tries to turn the rifle on herself to blow her own brains out in front of the grandkids.
Oh, no.
And the wife, and with a dead dad on the floor.
Right.
Think about what's happening at 2 o'clock in the morning in this place.
Oh, my word.
Think about the scene that's going on here, okay?
A 17-year-old in the prime of his life is experiencing this, and this is going to shape him forever.
Forever. Now... Mind you, it's going to get even crazier very soon here, okay?
So Grandma No is where we're stopped.
Grandma, stop. Don't kill yourself. They pull the rifle out of Grandma's hands. The quote here from someone is, quote, Mrs. Grubb was hysterical, stating that she did not want to live because she had killed Jimmy. So she was like, oh, no. She thought her life was over. So what she does, Cleo said she would take the blame for it, trying to get her mother to say, no, I'll take the blame. Don't worry about it and all that. So they kind of go back and forth. Eventually, they talk Dorothy off the ledge. She takes the gun away from her head, and she's ready to calm down and figure something out. So They all sit down and they have to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Kids and all.
Oh, boy.
This is a dead Jimmy D on the kitchen floor.
And the Duncans got to figure out how to dispose of Dad.
Oh, there's still probably chicken soup running down the wall. I mean, that's how.
Yeah, it's fresh.
There's still burgoo running down the wall. Like, this is a.
There's still broth pools in the linoleum.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking crazy. So they settle on, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bury him. We got to bet we're going to bury him. That's what we'll do. So they pick a spot about 130 yards from the house. So it's a good distance.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's a football field and then some.
It's not that far, though. That's not far enough.
Not far enough.
Distance yourself from the body.
It feels far. It feels like, well, we're not near the house now.
I can't even smell it.
No, like you'd have to really shout to get to talk to someone from that. Like, hi, what? Did that go, what?
Right.
It's a distance. Is what I'm getting at. So I feel like it's one of those. Like, is this far enough? What?
Say again.
Okay. And they start digging. Say again. What? So they decide to do that. They enlist Jerry and Joey to dig the hole.
Okay.
So now
17-year-old and probably a 14-year-old.
something like that. Yeah, lower. Yeah. So now we've got the children involved digging holes.
We got teenagers digging makeshift graves.
Digging makeshift graves in a coal mountain, 130 yards from the fucking house. Okay, so. Picture that scene, number one.
After Nana just tried to off herself.
After Mom had to wrestle the gun from Nana's hand as she tried to off herself after killing our father. Shit is awry.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. This is like West Virginia.
Yeah.
I can't even. This is like West Virginia through a microscope. Just huge in your eyesight, you know? Holy shit.
Unbelievably close family.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So the kids get to dig their first body hole. That's nice. You know what? You got to get that out of the way at some point in your life. That's the thing. Some point, a kid's got to become an adult and dig his first fucking hole for the corpse your grandma killed. You know what I mean?
Just to prep yourself for in your 40s when you go, Christ, you think this is the first hole I dug?
Think it's the first fucking hole I dug? I think a fucking hole. I think it's the first fucking hole I dug.
Outstanding.
So they decide to do that. They then Dorothy and Jerry are the ones who are the oldest son, and Dorothy drag James out to the hole and dump him in it.
Yeah.
And that's that. Okay. So at that point, they're like, okay, he's in a hole. We got that part done.
There's that.
He's way far away from the house. I couldn't even hear Jerry when he was digging. Like, I didn't even hear him. So
couldn't even hear the shovel.
I would say that no one would even connect that to us, right? No, right? No. He's out there. It's fine. Good. Must have been someone else. I don't know.
If this was a movie, it'd be called Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. This it was. Dude, this
is amazing.
If this was a movie, they'd be like, you got to make it more real, is what they would say. Like, literally, you'd read it and go, okay, like, this is silly. I get what you're going for, but it's far-fetched because it gets worse, okay?
Oh, boy.
Okay, this is how silly this gets. Way worse. So they're sitting around. Now, what do we do? Well, people are going to expect him places. What about his, his things? His truck's sitting outside.
Right.
If he's not with his truck, people will probably wonder what's up with that. So Jerry and Cleo decide, okay, this is what we're going to do. Well, they all decide to do it, but Jerry and Cleo actually take the truck, and they say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to drive the truck over to Prince, and we're going to run it over a hill to the edge of the river and make it look like Duncan was involved in an accident.
Smart.
Now, that would be smart, but then where did he go?
Right.
He was involved in an accident and disappeared and vaporized. He was involved in this such a bad accident, we didn't find a trace of him.
He hit the steering wheel so hard, poof,
he was gone.
Coal dust.
We didn't even find that. The breeze must have came through, blew it all on out of there, because I didn't even find no coal dust. Like, that's what happened. Like,
but it's
that's their plan.
It's an idea.
So they do it.
Okay.
They say, great, Cleo and Jerry drive the truck with Grandma Dorothy following in the car to pick them up, obviously. Okay. So that this is quite the procession we have here.
What a parade.
This is salute that parade, everybody. This is amazing. So now this is fucking awesome. They get it up there. They drove it over a hillside, got it up there and pushed it over the hillside. Jerry did but the truck didn't reach the river. They tried. Their whole point was to push the truck in the river.
Yeah.
And it just went down close to the river and stopped. They were like,
they see it like slow.
Yeah. And it hits a big rock and it's just sitting there. And now they're like, now it's just an empty truck without a dead body in it. The point was it goes in the river.
Right.
They find it, down the river.
Right.
Animals could have taken him.
Right.
Maybe who the fuck knows what happened to him.
Swamp monster ate him.
Swamp monster ate him. Noodlers took him. They went in there noodling and they were like, oh, I found a man. And they just took him. That's the biggest catfish I ever seen.
They needed bait.
I mean, they just broke up pieces of them. So, but what are they going to do? They can't get it back from down the fucking embankment. It's stuck there now. There's nothing they can do about it. Once it's there, it's there. So they're like, fuck it, I guess, right?
There it is.
So they're like, all right, well, I guess that's fucked. We tried. I don't know how we're going to explain that one. Second thing we didn't do too well here. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees and fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. Yeah. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping. You got a car payment due. There's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. Yeah. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. Yeah. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out
code SONOBELLO. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Gets funnier as they go back. They're like, all right, well, let's stay. They all went to the edge to the embankment to look over and go, what the fuck do we do now? I don't know. I guess we leave it there. Shit. Can we blow it up? How the hell are we going to do that?
Right.
I guess we leave it there.
We can't go put footprints near it. Also, we don't want more tracks of the tires.
Yeah.
We just got to leave it where it sits.
We'll leave it where it sits. They're like, I guess we'll go back home and, figure it out. So they go back to the car and it's locked. They locked their keys in the car.
Get out of my life.
Dorothy locked her fucking keys in the car.
Nana, stop fucking around. Open the door. Nana?
They locked the keys.
Nana, open the fucking door.
So now they're stuck on the side of the road with evidence of of a murder cover-up, and their getaway car has the keys locked inside of it, and they're just standing out there, sitting ducks for anything that could happen.
That is awesome.
So they're like, fuck, now what do we do? Shit. Okay, so apparently, somehow, through some miracle, somebody they know was passing by them.
That's bad.
Well, bad and good.
Yeah.
Good thing is people around there don't ask too many questions. He might be fucking his cousin in the trees. We ain't going to talk about it. That's his right. As a cousin. So they end up sending this person back to their house, back to their fucking compound or whatever, to get another family member to give them the spare keys and come back. Okay.
I can't believe the answer is not, well, we break the fucking window, obviously, and get the hell out of here. No. Somebody's got to go back and get the keys.
Somebody's going to have to get a shitload of dimes. That's what this is. Somebody's going to have to go back and get a shitload of dimes. I swear that's what this fucking feels like.
Unbelievable.
Blazing. Mel Brooks would have been like, this is too silly, right? We can't have this in a parody. That's how silly.
Lock the keys.
So imagine the people sitting waiting for the key people.
Right.
What do you sit on the trunk of on the hood? Just hang out? What do you talk about for that half hour? So
I hope nobody sees that truck about 50 yards away from us.
I guess so. Shit. Oh boy. Well,
Jesus.
I don't think the Knicks are going to be very good this year. I don't think. What the fuck are you talking about? It's just ridiculous. So they give the keys back. They get the keys. They go back home. And they file a missing persons report. Now's when they file a missing persons report. They're like, okay, we dumped the truck. He's missing. Okay. So that's when the police get the call. They find the truck down in the embankment. They go, oh, shit. They drag the river. Where could he be? Oh, my God. Because they think maybe he was injured in the accident, stumbled, fell in the river, and died. That's all they have to go on at this point. There's not a blood trail or anything like that. Who knows? Maybe he was just unconscious or knocked out, knocked half silly.
James Jimmie.
That's it, man. So they make a missing persons report. Now, Cleo, that evening, while they're sitting around with their nightly burgoo, Cleo's very sad. Cleo's I don't know why she's sad here. She should be thrilled, but she's sad. And she sits everybody around the table. And that's the thing, too. This is not a secret. The kids know about it.
Everybody helps.
Everybody helped. Like, everyone's in on this shit. Did
she, take over his role and grab the speaking butcher knife?
Yeah. She smacked the shit out of her one son for not keeping the wood stove at a proper temperature.
She picked up the speaking stick, which is a goddamn Ginsu.
This is my speaking poker.
Right.
So she turns to her family and she says, I can't bear the grief and the sadness and the agony here. I can't take it anymore. He has to have a proper burial. What we did wasn't right. What? It wasn't right. He needs a proper burial.
Oh, she's still in the cycle, James.
He needs a proper funeral, a proper burial. We did it wrong. She's feeling guilty for doing this now. And the mom's like, I don't know about that.
I don't know. I did a great job. One shot.
It's pretty amazing. Now, the interesting thing is, it's at this point that they want to have a decent burial and everything like that. Wow. But they decide, okay, what we'll do is the only way to get him, obviously we can't take him to the fucking cemetery and, have the kids dig a hole and then just pretend he's not there.
You can't give him to the fucking coroner.
They're going to notice probably. So the police are looking for his body. We they're looking in the river. We said he's missing. So here's what we'll do. We're going to throw him in the river. That way, they'll find him when they drag the river again, because they were just dragging the river that day. They'll drag it again tomorrow, and then they're going to find him tomorrow. We'll throw him in the river, and then they'll pull him out. We'll give him a proper funeral and burial, and then everybody's happy.
Right, but prior to that happening is you have to dig the hole again.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. He's 130 yards away. Don't worry about him. He's buried out there, so there's more there, too. So, because remember, he had half his chest cavity missing, so how does that happen exactly? Well, we'll find out here. All right, so... This is what I mean. This sounds
is
so...
Is that just a bumbling excavation?
Well,
all right, go on.
We'll talk about it. So I wish it was a bumbling excavation. That would have
accidentally.
Well, I got him with the backhoe.
I got his heart. Did we just bury pieces?
It's on the end of my shovel. Is that a thing? Is that a problem? And it's January at 2,400 feet of elevation in West Virginia. Cold. It's fucking cold out too. That's the other thing. So they buried him in the cold.
Oh boy.
Rivers though still flow usually because they're moving. Mm-hmm. So they say we're going to throw him in the river. That way, when they drag the river, they're going to find him. Right. Now the problem is they're also keeping patrols around rivers and shit because that's what they're looking for.
They're looking for somebody to throw a body.
Oh, they think maybe Jimmie's going to wander out of the woods.
Got it.
And be with a fucking head wound going. I got in an accident in my truck. Holy shit! They think maybe he wandered either off into the woods and or fell in the water.
Or he's got a headlight and he's just been mining for a few days.
That's it. Maybe he's just spelunking. We don't know. We don't know what he's doing down there. He could be doing anything. Coal dust. I don't know nothing. So
that's another with the emphasis on the wrong spot.
That's right. See? I love it. That's my West Virginia.
Got shot with a 22.
With a 22. He got shot with a 22. So Cleo.
Yeah.
This is mind-boggling. Mm-hmm. Now, you want to get him out of the ground now. We have to get him out of the ground. We got to get it out. Another Goodfellas thing. Remember that problem upstairs? We got to get it out. It's been months. I don't care how long it's been. We got to get it out. Developers are building houses up there. So anyway, they decide they need to dig him up. Now, if you're a mom, this is a job for you and grandma.
Yeah.
Because this is a 2-day decomposing corpse that's been buried in it.
I've done my job.
Yeah.
I'm out of this
Even
shit.
in the cold, it's still going to be gross. So instead, Cleo says, Jerry, Joey, go dig up your stepfather, okay?
Oh, my God.
So she sends the fucking kids out to dig this man up out of the ground and get him out of his shallow grave.
And they said, all right.
Shovels and over the shoulders and went out there. Oh, Mom, but it's 130 yards. That's a long way. Shit. Well, go deep. What is it? Go deep, Joey. Pretend it's football.
Right.
So she sends them out there to dig him up.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Sons.
Well, that's a hell of a favor.
Dig your stepfather up for me.
We put him in there. It's your turn.
I dug the fucking hole. What are you talking about?
And then buried. You dig and bury.
Your turn, asshole. So, Jesus
what are you going to
Christ.
reward me with? Cold soup? Fuck you.
Fuck you and your cold soup.
Your cold soup's what started this whole fucking mess.
Fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. So it's at this point that they go out, they get him, but the problem is Dorothy stops the whole procedure. Yeah. They dig him up, they drug him the 130 yards back to the house.
Yeah.
He's laying there in the fucking yard.
Oh boy.
And they're like, all right, well, let's get him in the car and we'll take him down and throw him throw him in the river.
Yeah.
So Dorothy says, but wait, we can't do that because if they find him, they're gonna see the gunshot wound and
Obviously.
they're gonna know that he didn't just fall in the river, and they're gonna go in there and they're gonna find a bullet. And they're gonna trace it. That's out of my gun.
Oh, boy.
That's my gun. Yeah. I've had that gun forever. They're gonna trace it back to my gun, and I'm gonna end up going to prison.
So she's seen the first 48.
So she said, "Well, only thing to do is cut him open and go get that bullet.
Get that bullet.
That's it." So they put him on the kitchen table.
Oh, my God. No.
Where else are you going to do this?
Oh, my God. What an idea.
Where else do you do this, Jimmy?
You've got an 8-month-old in the house.
Well, she's sleeping. She doesn't know what's going on. They put SpongeBob on or some shit. She's
opening her father on the kitchen table.
Look at Kermit. Okay.
Yeah.
So They bring him in, plop him on the kitchen table,
start digging for the Winchester.
And Dorothy decides she's going to open him up like he's having just like right down the chest plate, basically.
So she's going to do the
crack open like he's having open heart surgery or an autopsy or some shit, basically. Yeah. So
she's going to Dr. Bodden this.
She decides, she does that. Yeah. She cuts him open. Now, in an attempt to find the bullet, she removes the heart and the lungs.
With like a scale that weighs correctly.
3.1 pounds. It's 4 ounces on the left lung and 5 on the right lung. It's a little fluid in there. I'm not sure about that. Must have been coal dust. It's a little coal dust extra in the right lung. So
she takes organs out.
She removes organs in the kitchen. I assume puts them on a cutting board or something up on the counter. I don't know what's going on.
Wraps them in the Sunday funnies.
I hope this is after dinner. I hope they're not going to clean up and then try to make dinner after this.
Right.
Wraps them up in the funnies. That Doonesbury. Well, kids, get Dad's left lung for me. I'm going to wrap him in Kathy. Let's go. I got a Kathy for the left and a Garfield for the right. Let's go.
That Beetle Bailey kills me.
Oh, boy. He's the funniest, isn't he? Oh, that Far Side. Gary Larson's a treasure, isn't he? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Cavemen, to make cavemen do things that relate to American society. It's amazing.
Get Stepdad's heart, will you? Thank you. So she digs around in the heart and lungs trying to find the bullet, and she can't find the bullet because if anyone who knows anything about guns knows, 22s don't stay where you put them.
And they also don't stay together.
They don't stay together, and if you shoot someone in the heart, that thing could be in his upper thigh internally by the end of it. You don't know. It could be in his fucking throat and his sinus cavity.
Brain.
You have no idea where that bullet's going to go. It's in the homicide book, the David Simon book, they talk about autopsies in there and shit, and they talk about paths that 22s have made where they have
get in a vein and can trace it.
Go in here. One guy got shot in the shoulder. Yeah. It bounced down, clipped his lung, clipped his heart, got his liver, and they ended up removing it from his groin.
Unbelievable. Yeah, on the same side he got shot in.
It
went all the way across the body and back.
And it got every organ and killed him. And it was just a shoulder wound, but it got every organ, killed him, and lodged in his fucking groin. It was a 22. So
incredible.
You never know where it's going to be. Yeah. So apparently Dorothy, I would think a woman who owns a 22 and lives up in these parts here. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like everybody can probably hunt for their dinner around these parts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially in 1983. I don't know about now, but in the 80s, this woman grew up.
Yeah.
She's in
the 20s.
She's in her 50s here. She grew up in the 20s in West Virginia. This is like, imagine the Depression in the hills. Imagine what that was like.
Oh, boy.
Holy fuck. So this is a totally different thing here. So she digs around. She can't find the damn bullet. For the life, imagine her just going through lungs.
Wouldn't she just love to have an X-ray at this point? I mean, if you
open it up like a Doritos bag, looking up into it for crumbs.
I mean, if you take sections of the body off and then put it in the microwave, the one that sparks, that's the one.
Oh, it's smoking.
It's in there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere. So they're like, well, what are we going to do? We can't. I'm not going to cut him into 100 pieces to find the fucking thing. So they said maybe it shot out, maybe it bounced out. We just can't find the exit. Whatever. Who knows?
It came back out the same goddamn hole.
You know what? 22s are a fickle little bastard. You never know. So they said, all right, let's load up in the car, everybody. Yeah. So they do. They drive to a bridge. This is Cleo, Dorothy in the front seat, Jerry in the back seat. They bring young Jerry to help out because he's the strength in this operation.
He's the biggest boy.
He's the physical strength. And they pull it to the side they take it out of the car and they throw it off the bridge.
Yeah.
And his foot gets caught on the superstructure.
Damn it. All the luck.
And he's just dangling.
I told you to throw, Dorothy. God on damn. 3, not on 2. God damn it.
Throw, don't drop. Throw. So now they're like, Dorothy. Okay, finally. Oh, shit. So they've done nothing right here whatsoever.
Dorothy's like, if that Doonesbury
for the love of Christ
could just write about this, he'd have a very funny comic.
This is fucking amazing, by the way. Later on, their lawyer described it as this, trying to throw James over the bridge. They described it, quote, however, Mr. Duncan, meaning James, however, Mr. Duncan, as mean in death as he was in life, refused to fall into the river, catching his foot on the structure of the bridge. in the appeal, they're blaming him for it, and they're like, he was an asshole.
Right.
That's how much of an asshole this guy was.
See how stubborn this dick is?
You can blame the victim in court, and the judges are mad at you for it. They're like, well, I mean, yeah. As mean in death as he was in life, refused to fall into the river, catching his foot on the thing. So it's at this point where they're like, Jerry, go down and see if you can get a stick and fucking dislodge the body.
Unbelievable.
So now they're in the car, and Jerry's got a fucking stick on the side trying to poke this guy's body to fall, and just as that happens, headlights come up over the bridge, and it's the fucking cops. Okay? You've got a stick poking a body. Oh, shit. And then,
are those red and blues? Those are red and blues.
Fuck. And then the worst thing you could be doing when the cops are there. Like, you can't get caught any more red-handed than trying to fucking dislodge a corpse who you've disemboweled from a fucking structure of a bridge with a stick as the cops pull up.
The only way works if you got, like, a fist in an infant.
That'd be the only way. And he's like, I can't get this off. Can somebody help me with this? That would be
This thing was much smaller than I anticipated.
That'd be the only way to have a worse fucking... Jesus Christ. I just picture...
Holy shit, that's terrible. Can you get this off?
Can you get this off? So,
unbelievable.
I'm picturing him poking it. He's probably swinging back and forth as he's poking it, which makes it even more ridiculous.
He's just like jabbing him in the ankle.
God fucking damn it. Bah, he's not falling. Keep poking him. Keep poking him, grandson.
Unbelievable.
So, as he's poking him with the stick, the cops come over the hill.
Yeah.
The fucking women in the car panic and drive away. They step on the gas and leave Jerry standing there with the fucking stick.
And a body.
So Jerry heard that, dropped the stick, ran up as they pulled away, saw the cops and went, oh, fuck, and ran back down. And the cops saw them pull away, him run down that way. And as we know, they went down looking for him, went over and went, holy shit, there's a guy dangling from there. So that's how that ridiculous.
Holy shit.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Wow. How we're at, they just found him now. The cops just have his body. That's how nuts this story is. Like, there isn't even an investigation yet. They're just like, oh, there he is.
I guess you ask the same question of the cops in that situation as when you have the infant on your fist and you go, can you help me get this off?
Can you get this off? It's stuck. It's just wedged in there. See his foot, I mean. Jesus Christ. It's just wedged down in. I can't get it.
Unbelievable.
So, this, obviously this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Now, so they flee. They got lost on the way home. Mm-hmm. They just took off and started going down, like, we'll just go this way and that way till we don't see. There's no headlights behind us, to the point where they didn't know where they were anymore. Because these hollers, they're not like well documented roads. They're not well mapped. It's not a grid. No. It's a dirt road through a thing that's got a name like, Willikers Pass or some shit that only the locals know what that is. It's not
they know how to get around there based on shit that used to be there.
Yeah, that used to be about where the old mill was in the 40s. That you make a left there. All right, and it's a 12-year-old saying that. You're like, what the fuck? How do you know where the old mill was? You're 12.
Make a left down there, down the dirt road where Billy Joe slapped Bobby Jean.
You remember that? That was last week. Right after recess.
Make a left there.
But the soup was cold. I'm not going to lie. She had it coming, damn it. If she wasn't 8 months pregnant, he would have given it to her worse. I know it. I fucking know it. He don't take no shit, boy.
This fucking place.
So they get lost and drive aimlessly through the hills for literally hours before they find their way home. So not only are they lost in every, theoretical sense of the fucking word, but literally
and
also.
They've been spotted.
Yeah. It's
the people you don't want to get spotted by.
And they assume they probably caught Jerry as well. So, and we don't know how stout Jerry's going to be under questioning. If he's going to be like, I did all this on my own.
Yeah.
I was just getting a ride from those people. They don't know I was poking a body with a fucking stick. Chances that he's going to hold up under that kind of scrutiny are very low here. Slim to none. So the next day, the next morning, they're like, "We're fucked, right? I mean, we're totally fucked. Let's turn ourselves in. Yeah, we're at the end of. Honestly, this is so silly." We got like 10 minutes. They're going to be knocking on the door. Right. If we turn ourselves in, at least maybe we'll get a little mercy. So they do it, and on the way to the police station the next morning, they are pulled over by state police officers and arrested because they were looking for them anyway.
Yeah.
So they're
saw your car last night. Dispose of a body.
Kind of saw a body.
You're driving to see us in that same car.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and we'll give you a ride. Right. No, she's like, "Are you just going to follow us, or is that good?" Oh no, we'll just leave the car here.
Can I get my keys last time? I will tell you a funny story.
Boy. Oh, boy.
I am terrible with keys.
Weird. Why the fuck did they lock the door?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. Hold on. That's the most ridiculous part of this whole story. Everything that's happened, the beatings, the soup, the knife, the gun, the cutting the heart out, making your kids bury you, the kitchen table autopsy. Right. Of everything that's happened, the dumbest thing is when they pushed his car off the fucking embankment, they locked their car. Like someone was going to wander by and steal it.
And they had to have locked it because it's 1983. They didn't
No,
there's no way
you have to physically click
you gotta
a fucking
mash
lockdown.
That shit down.
Or if it was power lock, still you had to go.
Right.
It didn't just do it on its own. No button.
Unbelievable.
What the fuck are you locking?
Or maybe when they drug him out.
Everyone.
Maybe when they drug him out, he was mean and deaf,
That's
too.
true.
His foot maybe whacked it as they were dragging him out.
What a bastard.
He hit the lock.
I don't like this guy, but now I'm done with him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him now. I've had it. So it's great because normally we have to be so respectful to the victim.
This guy's such a dick.
But when the victim's literally in the middle of threatening his wife and kids with a deadly weapon and beating people, two of them in the middle of the night, when he's literally the worst person alive, you can go, fuck him, no victim here. Eat dicks, pal. He's dangling like a fucking asshole. Who cares? It's great.
It's a West Virginia pinata.
That's all it is. We hit him with the stick, Jimmy. If you hit him, maybe his liver will fall out. I got his heart and his lungs. Ain't gonna get that, but if you get an appendix, it's worth $5, mister. Holy shit.
Whacking the innards out of them.
Go on ahead and work the innards. On out of him, boy. Now, that's right. Well, get his pancreas. Okay.
Oh, boy.
So, Cleo's charged, a 2-count indictment, one charge of murder, and the other with unlawful disinterment, which means
that's desecration of a corpse,
unburying a body.
Oh, okay.
It's disinterment's a body in its final resting place. You've moved it.
How about the part where, there's so many other charges.
There's so much other stuff. That's what I mean. Those are the two they're going to concentrate on. I don't know if the guy was reading the law book and he was like, that's enough, right? I don't know.
We got her with 2 charges. Both of them carry life.
I'm going hunting this weekend. I got things to do. I got to go lay out my clothes.
One of them carries life.
Clean my guns. Right? I think so.
We're going to chase with possession of a deadly weapon.
Get on out of here.
Evading police.
Any other disposal. There's so many charges here if they wanted to be ticky-tack about it.
They could go right the fuck down to delinquency of a minor. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Ruining a child's life.
Yeah, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Absolutely. Jesus. So Cleo, her mom, and grandson, their 17-year-old, they're all arrested together. They all go down. The wife and Cleo here and Dorothy, they were also they mutilated this body.
Yeah.
He was cut open. And they were like, that's all right.
There's all kinds of shit.
They posted $50,000 bond apiece on first-degree murder charges and went free. They let them out.
What's the chances they're going to do it again?
That's the thing. It's not like he wasn't a stranger.
Right.
This guy was asking for it, so...
They barely murdered in the first place.
Yeah, think about how big of an asshole this guy is. You found them, they fucking mutilated a body.
God.
They've done everything to where the prosecution would be like, the heartless nature of this. Oh my God, life without parole, no bail. They're like, $50,000, that's all right.
They're able to do this to somebody they love.
You'll come back, right? That's how much of an asshole asshole this guy is. And even the prosecutor knows that he can't push too far with this guy. He's also the son, though. Jerry, he doesn't get any bond at the moment. They house him in a juvenile detention center because juvenile bond works different, so they have to.
I mean, the juvenile detention there is you do that at home.
Yeah, you just do it at home. They put you in a mine. Yeah. It's a special mine for children with lower ceilings. Right. You know. They can get lower to the ground.
There's an actual building for that in this place.
The coal miners' children's building.
No, I mean, there's probably not enough money in this area to have a detention center for children.
Yeah.
Like, you go to your room on detention.
It's just a coal mining training facility they send you to. You're like, what the fuck? Like, let's see who shovels the best now. All right, when you're done with that, you can have a hot dog from the VFW. That's what it is.
Yeah, you get out there and train for the Coal Olympics games next year.
That's all that fucking festival is just that's kids that are being held on murder charges, making them shovel coal to see who's good and to send down to the mines.
Or any other kind of charge.
Yeah. So, as this is going, obviously, they appear in court, and at a pretrial conference, Cleo moves for individual questioning of prospective jurors due to all the media attention this case has received. Mm-hmm. Not really media attention so much, but just everyone in fucking the county has heard about this because it's the stupidest story ever.
They wrote it in the newspaper. Oh, everybody knows.
Everybody knows about it. So this is one of those stories where I know it happened in the middle of nowhere and it's very under the radar. Right. And I have to tell you the amount I have like a few different newspaper archives. Yeah. I couldn't find one thing in a newspaper archive until the third archive I found.
Wow.
This is a court document and some newspaper archives. It's all I could find.
Unbelievable.
So somehow
that's the media.
No one cares about this. That's what I mean. This is the fucking craziest case. Like somebody could have just wrote this in a movie and not given it any credit or not bought a story and just made a movie based on this and it would be amazing.
Yeah.
And no one's ever heard of it. So
nobody would believe it.
They wouldn't believe it. I mean, it would be too ridiculous. Yeah. There's it was a bad movie. Danny DeVito was in it. What was it?
Is that Eight Heads and Duffel Bag?
No.
Who is in that?
That's Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Other short Italian guy. Who you fucking racist little asshole.
Fucking.
I don't know. He's a short guinea. One of them.
I don't know. Some guy that talks
one of them hairy little fucking guineas.
Unattractive short guy.
One of them has marinara on his breath. I don't know.
You're right, though. It is Joe.
It is Joe Pesci and Eight Heads and a Duffel Bag. So anyway, never mind.
Either way, but Alpha Dog is like it's a less hilarious story. It's a little more fucked up, but just the details in that you're like this. There's no fucking way this is real.
Yeah,
and this is more ridiculous than that.
Drowning Mona, it's called. Did you ever see it?
I have seen that.
It's everyone drives a Yugo in that town. It's got like Casey Affleck is in it. I
have seen that.
What's her name? Is Bette Midler is she's.
That shit's on Amazon right now.
Probably. It used to be on like HBO in the early 2000s all the time. Yeah. It's a piece of shit movie, but it's kind of this. It's a murder plot of a bunch of idiots, and it's less stupid than this.
Yeah,
it's way less dumb than this.
Was that Drowning Mona, or was that
the one with the Yugos? Is Drowning Mona?
Okay, I was thinking the other one where they kidnap the wife, and I think that's
Ruthless
also,
People.
Yeah,
that is also Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
That's Danny DeVito. Bette Midler is the wife. Judge Reinhold is the kidnapper. Yeah, and that's a fucking great movie.
Unbelievable movie.
Ruthless People's a great movie.
Good.
Yeah, Danny DeVito hates his wife.
Yeah,
he's a rich guy who hates his wife, and they kidnap her. They kidnap her to get a ransom from her rich husband, and they call him and they're like, "We got your wife," and he's like, "I don't care."
Right?
Yeah. They're like, "We're gonna kill her," and he's like, "Great,
Good.
Enjoy, awesome, have a good one." Yeah, I dare you. At one point, hangs up on him, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Calling him back. He's like, "What are you doing? I said to go fucking kill her. What's wrong with you people? Jesus Christ, you lazy fucks!" He's like yelling at him, "Do your fucking jobs."
So good.
What? So, he's the fucking best, man. So, when watching on Hulu, they have Taxi.
Yeah.
The old Taxi. It's fucking Danny DeVito back then. He was so great. Andy Kaufman was fucking
so good.
God, was he amazing on that show. Yeah. So everybody was great on that show.
I really want to believe that he's not dead. I want that so bad.
No, he's dead.
He's clearly dead.
He's dead. But
his daughter is going to keep it going. Because she's awesome, too.
Well, needs something. What a weird fucking... What a great show, though, with Andy Kaufman fucking being weird and all that, and Danny DeVito being an asshole in his first first chance to be an asshole.
Just leaning into it.
Fantastic. So
he's the only guy, well, Joe Pesci too, that can be like, not like a sex figure and be fucking amazing at being terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being
he was
just
great.
A bad person.
Oh.
And you buy it
villain.
and you love it, and
Great
you probably got a lot of blowjobs for it.
Yeah, everyone loves Louis De Palma.
Yeah.
Well, he married Carla Tortelli there, Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
That's where he met her on the show.
And then she died, correct? No, she
Rhea
did not.
Perlman's
Not
alive.
Rhea. Who did
No, her and Danny DeVito.
Who am I mixing her up with? The other lady on SNL. That lady's dead, right?
Gilda Radner?
That's the one.
There you go. Yeah, she died in like 1978.
Same woman in my head.
Okay.
In my head. I go, same person. No problem.
It's all good. Either way. Hey, either way. You know what I'm talking about?
Listen, I was barely alive.
What are you going to do? So, Jesus Christ.
Asshole.
So the judge through all this says you can individually do some people, but not others. I don't know what kind of sort of hillbilly logic he was putting on this, but during all this, because they do the whole panel, jurors had indicated they had read about the case in a newspaper or had heard about it on television, or asked individually whether, as a result of their exposure, they had already formed opinion as to the guilt or innocence. Which, how would you not? How would you not?
It's pretty obvious.
They turned themselves in after running away from the cops with the kid poking it with a stick. I mean, Jesus Christ. So one prospective juror said, yes, they could definitely separate it, and was questioned individually out of the presence of the other jurors, and they dismissed the person from the panel. They didn't believe him. So the defense was upset about that for some reason. And the trial court also asked Cleo's counsel if he had any questions, and they said, and I quote, "I'm pleased with the collection of the jury. We have no questions."
Okay.
So they can't bitch about that later, even though they will.
Of course.
So the trial starts in January of 86. Cleo's trial. Cleo's going to go first here. Now she's charged with murder and disinterment of a human body, like we said. The state police corporal Charles Shelton testifies that that Cleo told him in a confession that that James had, quote, complained about there not being any hot food on the table, woke up the children, and started chasing her around the kitchen with a .22 caliber rifle and a mattock. You know what a mattock is?
No.
I think that's a knife of some kind, because there was a knife earlier. M-A-T-T-O-C-K.
Oh, that's a like a Bowie style knife, like a big fucking hunting knife.
Okay, that's what he was pointing around at everybody.
All right.
A giant fucking knife, and then he was like, "That's not enough. I better get a rifle." Knives don't scare children.
Right.
Rifles scare children. So he also said it was at that time. He kind of gave the lowdown that Dorothy came over, entered the house. Apparently, the story in court is, and the story they decide to tell the police is that Dorothy grabbed the rifle from him, and then Dorothy shot him when he tried to get it back.
Okay,
that's the story.
Okay,
so this lady comes in and wrestles a fucking gun out of his hand.
Jesus, she's amazing.
That's wild. And then Dorothy said that she had the grandsons bury him in the yard out there. So now Cleo testifies in her trial.
Every time you keep saying that, I keep seeing the lady from TV. Yeah,
Miss Cleo, this is the psychic. Yeah, not a redneck.
No, I keep seeing a woman that was sued for telling people bullshit that they should have known was bullshit.
Yeah, no, you need to see like Kirk from The Whites, The Wild and Wonderful Whites. That's what you need. Sniffing a line off of the fucking back of a sleazy West Virginia bar toilet bowl.
What without her voice and the way she talks might be a beautiful hot woman. But she ruins it all.
I sniff things off the back of the toilet, and my son he gonna be in jail soon.
My son's 6.
CPS took my baby.
And he sounds more racist than a 65-year-old man you know.
That kid just slinging the N-word around ruined. Like fucking lawn jarts. Just throwing them all around. Bullseye! Woo! There's not a black person to say them to, but, you know. Nobody there to offend, I guess.
That kid is terrible.
That kid was the worst.
I want to know what his rap sheet is today, because it's been 15 years. It's been
15 years. That kid
he's a mess.
He's definitely
21.
in jail.
He's in prison.
Oh, his mom was in and out of everything. Yeah. His mom, depressed. Sorry to sidetrack on Wild and Wonderful Whites, but This woman was depressed that CPS took her baby away when she had it because the baby had drugs in his system.
Right.
Because she was doing drugs while she was pregnant.
And she was pissed.
She was so mad at that and so upset that she was going to have to like prove to CPS that she wasn't doing drugs and all this. She's so mad at that she had to go out and sniff fucking powder off the back of a shitty toilet bowl.
And they don't
in
even
a West
tell you
Virginia
what it
bar.
was. It's presumably pills that they crushed up.
Because they're all doing pills.
That's what they've been doing the whole goddamn movie.
Because even the mother, remember Birdie makes that joke in bed when she has a stroke and she goes, "We're going to get you the medicine.
I'm
We're
not going to sniff
she
pills."
says, "I don't want to snort no pills." And she goes, "Mom, you ain't snort." Oh, because then Birdie smiles like, "I'm kidding, stupid. You guys snort pills. I'm calling you a scumbag." Oh, haha, that's right. We're scum. That's right. Okay, sorry. I'll get you real medicine.
I'm not going to make you snort no. Oh, gotcha.
Gotcha. She goes, "Mommy, you would." Oh.
And the girl Kirk is her nickname. Her name is nowhere near Kirk. It's like Jenny Lou or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't even remember her name.
Doesn't fucking matter.
I was just watching it just in awe with my mouth open going, why are we calling her Kirk?
Is
she the captain of the family?
It's better than Sue Bob,
right.
The other one.
And her name's not even...
I'm Sue Bob. I'm the sexiest of the white family. Jesus Christ.
Jumping on a trampoline with her big...
Look at me. If I wasn't for this disgusting head, you'd want to fuck me, wouldn't you? That's what they all say. And she goes out to the bar, and no matter what the music is, she's dancing like a stripper.
Right.
She's dancing like a stripper dancing to Southern hip-hop.
Right.
Even if it's just, I went down to America, and Jesus loves America.
And she's grinding her pussy into the air.
Yeah. She's like grinding to the ground, shaking her ass and back up like you'd be like...
Well, the guy singing it is going, she's got the prettiest titties I ever seen.
And he does, too. So watch The Wild and Wonderful Whites.
Says.
He goes, she got the prettiest titties I ever seen. Over the PA system.
Shake her ass and her titties for y'all.
Oh, yeah. Shake her ass and her titties for y'all. She got the prettiest titties I ever did seen. You're like, you wonder why there's only 4 people listening to this music and one shirtless man playing the slot machines. This is perfect.
Well, he screams racist terms at a slot machine because he didn't win.
Yeah, well, he calls the slot machine a porch monkey. That's like, what? Get the fuck out of here. What is wrong with these people?
That is the Wheel of Fortune, sir.
Yeah,
calm down.
You're yelling at Pat Sajak, sir. What is happening?
Vanna's a nice lady.
You just called Vanna White a very bad racial slur. Super weird. So she's on testifying, Cleo. She's testifying. She testifies that her mother fired the bullet that killed her husband, because that's the story they decided to go with. Also, the sons testify, and they confirm it. They say, yep, grandma done shot stepdad. Yeah. And all that sort of thing. And Duncan to Cleo, she said during the trial that she told her sons, Joey and Jerry, go dig up the body. We got to go get the bullet out. Yeah. And all that sort of thing. So she's admitting it. And she's saying that she had her, it's pretty cut and dry here. So verdict comes back. Oh, boy. She is found guilty of disinterment of a corpse and not guilty of murder.
What?
Not guilty.
What?
Not guilty.
All right. Oh,
This is the what the fuck is West Virginia?
So she didn't do it, but she did participate in the aftermath, is what she's convicted of.
Yeah, she did. She was in the middle of it, but I mean, if they're going to do it, they all know. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where the whole jury's like, we all know Jimmy, blah, blah, blah. Right. Not that we know him, but like, we know what he did, and he
probably baited him.
He had it coming. Right. I think everybody in court, that's how much of an asshole this guy is. Yeah. I think he's
punched her in the face. While that band plays singing about Sue Bob's titties. He punched her over a bottle of Jaeger, and everybody saw it, and they're like, that guy's going to get it one day. Yeah, that boy is going to grow up, and he's not going to take that
While
shit.
He screamed, 3 cherries! Yeah! Woo! Take that, N-words! So,
unbelievable.
That's what happened there. I think this is just a jury everything nullification. Yeah. Like they just said, no, you're good. Yeah. You're fine.
So what'd she get for it?
So, sentencing comes around for her. Now the judge says that he took into consideration the brutality of the act. Yeah. Also took into consideration that Cleo lied repeatedly, tried to cover up the act, and involved children in the this sounds worse when you say it like this. You involve children in the cover-up of this.
I mean, the judge works for the state. He could have spoken to the prosecutor, right, and been like, 2 charges? Really? I mean,
that's not his job, though.
I guess.
He's the impartial. He's not telling the prosecutor to charge more shit. That's on the prosecutor.
I suppose.
You wouldn't want a judge doing that.
No,
Jesus Christ.
No, I guess you don't. But
he's going in with a preconceived. He works for the people, is what he's supposed to be working for. Yeah, it's
he's paid by the state.
Yeah, technically the prosecutor works for the people too.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
That doesn't work.
So he says, "You, ma'am." May fuck off.
Yeah.
He sentences her to 2 to 5 years in prison.
Unreal.
That's it. But she was getting taken to the county jail, and before she is taken to the prison, she is told that she is allowed to remain free on appeal. She's going to appeal this. So, this is fucking crazy. The judge sentenced her to 2 to 5 years in prison, and then the same judge authorized the appeal the next day and released her from the county jail on the same $50,000 bond from before.
Unbelievable.
She didn't even have to put up a new fucking bond.
This is insanity.
The judge said, this is Judge Summerfield, said that Cleo told the judge that she should be granted probation because she had already suffered greatly and will continue to suffer. The judge said that Cleo also... judge said that's true, and also your children need you. So why don't you go take care of them?
Stay the night. So you know that we mean business.
I mean, take a rest.
Right.
I mean, it's Tuesday. It's fish stick night. Right. So I mean, you can go on, stick around for that. We got mac and cheese.
You probably got a sitter for
a cup of burgoo, I would think. So. You take care of that for the night. It's movie night.
Right.
It's good. It's going to be nice. We're playing Taxi Driver tonight. You're going to like it. Robert De Niro taking the law into his own hands. It's a good movie. It's a good film. We're going to sit around.
You'll be able to relate.
We're going to have a discussion of pre-Renaissance literature right on after that. So it's a busy night down at the women's jail.
Tomorrow you head on home, and we'll start the appeal process.
Oh, it's going to be lovely. So
that's what she does. And then...
So she's free on appeal. So now Dorothy still has to go to court. Now she's the one who's actually saying I did the shooting.
Right.
And so that should be a different deal here. Dorothy decides that she's not going to go through the trial. She's going to plead guilty. So I feel like there's a lot of winking and nodding going on with prosecutors and judges of like, we're all going to... We're not going to do too much.
We're going to charge you with murder, but if you plead to punching him in the mouth... we'll give you 2 weeks.
Yeah. And she does. She pleads to murder. She pleads guilty to digging up the body, to internment, and cutting out the heart and lungs. Yeah. She sat there in court and said, I wrestled a gun out of his hands. I shot him. I buried him in the yard. Had my grandsons bury him in the yard. Then when we wanted to give him a proper burial, I said I didn't want the bullet traced back to me, so I better put him up on the kitchen table in front of my grandkids.
Splay him out.
And cut him open like an autopsy.
Yeah.
Cut him open like a trout.
Yeah.
And take his organs out looking for the bullets, couldn't find them, decided to dump them over a river, then drove away, leaving my grandson behind.
Right.
And
by the way, I left out what we did with the lung and heart on purpose.
On purpose, because I had to mash it around pretty good.
That shit is gross.
There was a tenderizer involved. Let's just say that. It's very tender. It's like a veal cutlet. Like you could make a nice Parmesan with it now.
Have you heard of a ninja? It's amazing.
It's pretty good.
They really chop them down fine.
They do.
They could probably make a nice salsa.
Yeah. So she's going to plead guilty to this. She says all of that, and then she says at the end of it, quote, I didn't intend to kill him. I am guilty because I did shoot him, though.
Yeah.
So she says that. So the judge says, you, ma'am, may fuck off.
Yeah.
This is for voluntary manslaughter and disinterment.
Wow.
2 to 5 years.
How much this judge has had Jimmy D in his courtroom for DUI, public disturbance.
Oh, he's
many times.
This is Fayette County Circuit Judge J. Zane Summerfield.
Yep.
And so that's 2 to 5 years on one of the charges, 1 to 5 years on the other charge.
Yep.
And then he says this. And he's going to run them concurrent. Then he says this, and I quote, the court is of the opinion that those sentences should be suspended, he said. He told her, you're not allowed to own a gun for about 5 years, placed her on probation for 5 years, and said, have a good one, Dorothy.
What?
She's released from jail on November 19th, 1986. Suspended sentence. She has been given credit for 55 days served. She served 55 days for an admitted murder and dismemberment. That has to be a record, right?
That's got to be the shortest
That has to be the shortest ever. How much of an asshole are you?
Yeah.
If people murder you and then completely disrespect your corpse and they're like, I mean, still, he was a real how much of a dick do you have to fucking be?
They more than Weekend at Bernie's, Tim.
Oh,
they fucked him over so much.
They'd pull him in, take him out, drink him up, throw him over the side, poke him with a stick. This is fucking ridiculous.
Holy shit.
55 days fucking served.
Gone home.
Oh, she does that. They said she left the courtroom crying tears of joy. Well, no shit. Fuck, Dorothy.
Wow.
I guess you would. Wow, that's just amazing. So she's in there for 55 days total, and that was like altogether like when they got arrested 3 years ago and when they had to come in for a minute. It's crazy. So 1988, Cleo has her appeal.
Yeah.
She's appealing this is a funny ass appeal.
I mean, you got to appeal. If grandma gets off for murder,
fuck it.
You may as well give it a shot.
But you're appealing now to higher courts that aren't like this little, Fayette County, we all know Jimmy's a dick, right? We're not outside of that.
This is people in Roanoke that never heard of Jimmy.
Yeah, well, Roanoke's regular Virginia, but yeah.
Oh.
So I think, Charleston is West Virginia? South Virginia? Never mind. Moving on.
Close enough.
So,
is it Roanoke in regular Virginia?
Roanoke is in Virginia.
Okay.
It is definitely
regular Virginia.
Definitely not in West Virginia. So
Montpelier?
Well, that is Vermont. It's the capital of Vermont, sir.
I'm trying to think of capitals.
Pierre, Bismarck.
Yeah.
Put him on a Dakota, Jimmy. So,
God damn it.
Fuck. So she argues first for that the disinterment charge here implies proper burial. This is her argument, okay? Look, to disinterm someone, that implies that they had a proper burial to begin with, as in a decent burial. This is their appeal.
He had to have been interned in the first place.
She argues that Duncan's body was merely hidden in the ground, not decently buried, which hidden in the ground
that's buried
is buried. If people like hide money, they don't go hide it in the ground, they bury it. Right. That's what you do to hide. How do I hide in the ground? Well, you dig a hole and then put dirt back on it. Isn't that burying it? I guess.
Now she's arguing with the dictionary.
It's semantics. This is you're arguing semantics with the state of West Virginia, who doesn't even probably. So what now? Who's semantic? I don't know her. Did my son get her pregnant too? Shit.
Semantic.
I don't know her at all. You mean Semitic? The Jews are here? What now? I thought it was 0.0. Oh, fuck. The Jews are coming, everybody. I don't know. That's what I hear. So they're having Semitic shit in court. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why this court and case has anything to do with a Star of David.
But apparently it does. She argues that it was merely hidden in the ground, not decently buried. Therefore, it can't be the subject to unlawful disinterment. Okay. That she said, what if I just threw it in the shed? Yeah. What if I just threw it on the living room floor and then did something? That wouldn't be disinterring it. Okay. Basically, it's the same thing that 130 yards away under the ground with dirt on top of them. Not quite the same thing. The state of West Virginia doesn't believe that as well. They say if any person unlawfully disinter or displace a dead human body or any part of a dead human body, so you can't just take an ear and fuck with that, which shall have been placed or deposited in any vault, mausoleum, or any temporary or permanent burial place.
There you go.
So that's pretty clear with the temporary or if they put a headstone up, you don't have to have a headstone up for it to be a burial. He shall be guilty of a felony upon conviction, shall be confined to the penitentiary for not less than 2, no more than 5 years.
And
now
then they appeal that and go, this says he, not she.
Exactly. Well, now semantics again.
I'm going want to pull my skirt up?
Listen here.
And prove it.
I'll prove it to you. Now, West Virginia Code contains no requirement that a body be decently or lawfully buried before it can be subjected to unlawful disinterment, is what the court decides. Rather, the language, any temporary or permanent burial place, indicates a legislative desire not to distinguish between the types of graves which might be subject. Yeah, they're not going to parse grave types. No. Well, he was only 3 feet under the ground. That's 6 feet for a real grave.
Chloe, it's 2 to 5. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You lucky asshole.
That's what I'm saying. And they said, and she's probably going to get off first parole hearing, I would think. And while the hole in the backyard, they say, indeed may have been a hiding place, it was also a burial place. You hid it by burying it. Therefore, it's buried. Now now you're disinterring it. That's how it works.
Do you think this is just a lawyer trying to make more money by, running the appeal system ragged?
Maybe. I mean, it's a murder appeal.
Yeah, but at some point, you just got to be like, I got 2 to 5?
It's not bad.
That's amazing.
But if she wants to fucking appeal it, they have to
want to do the 2 to 5.
That's the thing. So the burial, they said, became a temporary burial place only because the family decided to recover the body and deposit it in a different place. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't mean that it wasn't there. We find no merit in Duncan's argument that if any covering of a dead body with earth is a burial from which a removal is a felony, then the retrieval of bodies after an underground mine disaster or the removal of bodies buried in a mass murderer's basement would be a prohibited act. They literally... Don't be an asshole now.
Oh, my God.
That's ridiculous. To compare what she did, which, like I said, fuck that guy. Right. But still, don't say...
Compare that to chasing closure for loved ones of people
compare that to pulling dead miners out from underground or removing bodies from John Wayne Gacy's basement. Those would both be... Well, we got to leave them under the house, I guess.
They're buried now.
I mean, they're buried. I'm sorry. No, I know you wanted closure on your son and you wanted to have that, but he's going to stay here under John Wayne Gacy's back deck.
You're going to have to visit the Gacy house every birthday.
That's what it's going to be. Yeah, it's under the fountain out back. It's
If you'd like to visit him, you can go in the crawl space from 2 to 4 every birthday.
Every birthday. It says the burial in this case, which involved the placement of a body after death, is different from accidents where a victim is buried alive, such as mine disasters, mudslides, and floods. Further, the removal of bodies from a basement when done by the proper authorities is distinguishable and raises a question different from the circumstance that we addressed today. Yeah. However, the unauthorized disinterring of a body of a deceased human being is an indictable offense both at common law and by state, regardless of the motive or purpose for which the act is done. Thus, we cannot excuse the appellant's actions on the basis of her desire to provide Duncan's body with a decent burial, because that's her other argument is I was trying to give him a better burial. Yeah. And they're like, but you did actually break the law to do that, so you can't do that.
A very above ground burial.
It's a very above
in fucking bridge.
Dangling. Can't get any more above ground. 1 foot is touching something.
Eventually he'll go down.
It's going to pop off of it. Yeah, eventually he's going to rot off his foot and the weight of him will pull him down.
Wild.
So then she also argues that the state is unconstitutionally vague and fails to fully and fairly give a person notice that his conduct is prohibited. She literally said, how am I supposed to know I can't bury my husband in the yard, then dig him up and throw him over a bridge? That's literally her argument. It's vague.
Yeah.
Sorry, but anybody could have made that mistake. I mean, obviously.
She's claiming ignorance.
She's claiming that it's a vague statute. Yeah. Not even ignorance. I didn't know the statute. I was aware of it, but it's vague. And I thought this was fine.
I was aware of it. I interpreted it different.
Yeah, I interpreted it legally different than you did. Sorry. So the court apparently, the court's going through all this looking for, it says, quote, a criminal statute must be set out with sufficient definiteness to give a person of ordinary intelligence fair notice that his contemplated conduct is prohibited by statute and to provide adequate standards for adjudication. When he was on the kitchen table and you're about to plunge a knife into the chest, you guys went, this isn't legal, right? I think everybody got that idea at that point, right? We're going above and beyond, correct? Right?
I mean, at that point, it's like, we put him in this position, so really anything we do now should just be like under the charge of whatever that is.
Yeah.
If we murdered him, whatever we do else is still murder,
it's
right?
It's still part of it, right? Yeah. By the way, wait till you hear one of the judge's opinions on this. It's fucking as mind-boggling as the rest of the story. It's amazing. So they say in this case, the body of James Duncan was placed in a hole in the appellant's backyard, dug especially for that purpose. He was covered with dirt and remained there for approximately 72 hours. At the appellant's instruction, Jerry and Joey Raines removed Duncan's body from the hole in the backyard for the purpose of throwing it into the river. The clear and unambiguous language of the code gives a person of ordinary intelligence fair notice that the disinterment of a dead human body from any temporary or permanent burial place constitutes a felony. Duh.
Yeah.
Duh. Affirmed. So the judgment is affirmed, but there is a dissenting justice.
What does he say?
So this is Justice Neely says, quote, wow, I dissent because it does not appear to me that burying a body and covering it with dirt exclusively to conceal it is the type of temporary or permanent burial place contemplated by the West Virginia Code.
What are you saying, sir?
Okay. If the appellant in this case is guilty of anything, she's guilty of being a principal or accessory to homicide. Okay, that's fair. They're saying, I don't think this is stupid. She should be in jail for murder because she was accessory to homicide. That's a different thing. We're stretching the plain intent of the statute to catch the appellant in its net, which may be true.
Okay.
Because I figured that's like one of those, like, look, let's kind of go, oh yeah, murder, and then we'll tell about her horrible life and how he beat the shit out of her and all this, and we don't really care about the murder charge, but we can't just let her go free, so let's give her this other charge.
Right.
I think it was one of those for the jury. Let's throw the jury a bone, make them not have to either set her free or convict her of murder.
Right. It's arresting OJ for stealing his Heisman.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly what it is. So he says penal statutes must be strictly construed against the state and in favor of the defendant normally. So that's that. Now, so she gets out, and she was only 2 to 5, so she's out before 1990.
So amazing.
Dorothy was fine.
Yeah.
Jerry had a shit life.
Really?
Jerry ended up having a shit life.
Really?
Gee, it's weird.
I mean,
strange.
A 17-year-old who murders his stepfather.
I wonder why he'd be trouble and then tries to poke a stick and runs from the cops. Really weird that this would be. Yeah, and if that's who mom picked,
right.
I mean, you know what I mean? What was dad like around him, and what was everybody else like? And so obviously things weren't great for him.
How bad did it go?
Well, he was arrested in 2003, in 2004, in 2006, in 2007.
He got out for all this, obviously.
Yeah, and just was arrested constantly in and out. He's like one of the whites, basically, constantly in and out. And then in February 2009, Jerry Wayne Raines dies at the age of 43.
Oh, wow.
43. That is way too young. After being arrested a ton and just having
he looked 82.
Oh, yeah, who knows?
Jesus.
I mean, what kind of life he had. He had to have a terrible life because that's not his fucking fault. All he was trying to do was defend his mom, and then he got dragged into this shit. He couldn't have said, no, mom and grandma, I'm not going to help you. I mean, he had to do what he had to do. I would have done the same thing when I was 17. If my mother and grandmother were telling me to do it, I would have done it too. And I don't even live in the fucking hills.
Right.
So, I don't know.
43.
43.
Unbelievable.
October of 2019, just recently, Dorothy Grubb died at the age of 92.
Wow.
She lived another 40 years outside, happy and healthy, and 30 years
in her own bed.
Sleep in her own bed. Another 35 years of sleep in her own bed. Doing just fine. Not bad. 92 and feeling not blue.
Oh my God, this story is incredible.
It's fucking crazy. And Cleo is currently, I think, 71 years old and still alive, still out there. Don't know where she is. I mean, I found her information, but I'm going to put it out there.
She's in that town.
She's out there somewhere. Yeah. You can find her, I'm sure, and she's. I don't know. Don't fuck with her, I guess.
No.
She'll bury you in the yard.
Don't you dare.
Well, now that mom's gone.
Well, and the son. I mean, she's got 2 other sons, right?
Yeah, she's got the 2 younger ones,
They're
too.
Older and much more capable today.
Hopefully, but that is... that's a story, man. I mean, come on.
Holy shit.
You do not get more of a ridiculous fucking story than that. I swear to Christ. That's insane.
That is Goodfellas as fuck.
That is crazy. And by the way, if you are not a Patreon listener yet, patreon.com/crime and sports, the $5 and above level will have a bonus episode this week of Equal Hillbilly. Equal Hillbilly, a crazy case from the hills of West Virginia, horrible shit, and included in this is a small town murder piece 3000. That's right. I have scripts out. Jimmy's got his script in front of me. I have my script.
Murder Piece Theater.
It was Small Town Murder Piece Theater 3000. Sorry.
Did we know how much time he served on the charges?
I don't know because it was a juvenile. They charged him as a juvenile.
That's right.
So everyvate. He was private.
He got 6-8 months at home.
Nothing was public. So So we don't know what happened. Yeah, they charged him as a juvenile, and that was that.
Wow.
He went to juvenile court. That's where they took him away to. So that was that, and that's them. And yeah, so that'll be the Patreon episode, by the way. So, Small Town Murder, Peace Theater 3000 of me and Jimmie reading. There's a crazy story attached to it, and then the man's interrogation is absolutely golden.
Great.
One of the these people might have a cousin, we'll put it that way. It's nuts. So, yeah, West Virginia's wild,
It
obviously.
really is.
If you like that story, how can you possibly tell us? I know how you can tell us, damn it. You can get on Apple Podcasts, that purple icon.
Yeah.
You can get on Stitcher even if you listen on Stitcher, and you can tell us. Give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions. Say you're following directions. Say it's dark in here. It doesn't matter. Help out the show, though. Also, if you want to help out the show, we are nominated for the Webby Awards.
Right.
You can go to the Webby Awards and vote for us. It's on our social media, the link.
Yeah.
You can vote for us for the People's Voice Awards. We're nominated for the Best Comedy Podcast Award, which is pretty cool. It's only like us and 4 other people,
Right.
which is pretty fucking big deal.
And it's actually vote.webbyawards.com.
Yeah, the best comedy, that's pretty fucking big deal,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh,
It's
us and 3 other people.
us and like, Will Ferrell and like people like that. It's pretty fucking silly that we're nominated for that,
Stupid.
but we love it. And so thank you, Webby
Help us
Awards,
win
for that.
that.
Help us win the Voice Awards by voting for us on that. You can do that. That helps us out a lot. And yeah, who knows, man? Tell people about the show. Because right now, one thing with podcasts, the thing that people do listen to podcasts the most of all is at work.
Yep.
Commuting,
Yep.
at the gym,
Yep.
on a plane,
On public transportation.
What are people not doing any of right now?
Any of those.
Any of those things. None of those
Not a
things.
single goddamn one of them.
Yeah, so help us out by spreading the word, and that goes for any podcast you listen to. If you listen to podcasts, support this right now. This is free entertainment that we try to work our asses off to give you, and without a Netflix subscription or any of that bullshit.
And if you love it when you do have to do all those things all over again, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to go back to all of it. And if you love it when you get to do that, make sure that you're supporting it now, because now's more important than ever before.
It really is. It really is, especially with the live shows suspended for a little bit and everything. Yeah, spread the word. Tell your friends, because otherwise, you never know here. So do all of that, and you can find everything that you want on us at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, and you can just Google it and find all of that shit there. Definitely do that, though. It really helps out. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com also for everything, all the rescheduled tour dates.
Right.
By the way, we are closing in on everybody. We've been asked a lot. Seattle and Portland.
We're trying our best.
We didn't forget. There's multiple dates that they're trying to work it out with to
understand that every other person that you like that does live shows, they're also canceled. So they're trying to restructure also. So we're caught in this hodgepodge.
Not for nothing. 2 Portland shows and Seattle, they're all sold out. So these motherfuckers should reschedule it pretty goddamn quick. Sorry. The tickets are sold.
Right.
Somebody with a fucking 100 tickets sold, they can fucking go the month after us. That's what I'm saying. You guys have been waiting for this shit forever.
And it's awesome that you guys did that for us. Thank you for giving us that leverage.
Yeah, absolutely. It does give us leverage to go, well, we're fucking sold out. So I don't know. We should get the date, I think. So so we're working on that. It's going to be early 2021, it looks like. I don't think we're going to be able to get there this year. But early 2021 is when that's going to be rescheduled for. And all your tickets will still be good.
Right.
And I know December, we had Austin and Oklahoma City rescheduled for the week before Christmas.
Right.
Like the 18th and 19th.
That's right.
Because I had somebody message me saying they don't know if they're going to make the May 8th show in Austin. I was like, you're definitely not going to make it.
You're not.
Because it doesn't exist.
We're not going to make it
is
either.
6 fucking months, 7 months later, as a matter of fact.
If you do make it, tell us how it goes.
Tell us all about it. When you cup your eyes to look into the window through the closed door, tell us what it looks like in there. Is it nice? So, thank you for doing that. Spread the word. Get all your merch on there, too. We have so much new stuff up all the time. Sarah's really working her asses off on her, working her asses. She has multiple asses.
How many?
She's working all of them. All of them to the bone on merchandise. She made a bunch of masks. All that mask money goes to charity. We don't get a dime of that, and we don't want a dime of that. No. That's all for charity. And so you can find out more about the charity on Threadless when you're on there. But get all your merch. Get all your tickets to live shows. Listen to Crime and Sports.
Yes.
Check it out. This this week was War Machine. You want to hear us make fun of an asshole? That's the guy.
Certainly deserves it.
He deserves it. Not a whole lot of sports, just a whole lot of making fun of an asshole there. And if you, like we said, if you want to listen to bonus episodes and all sorts of bonus shit too this week, one for crime and sports and one for this, you can do that very easily. Patreon.com/crime in sports. Or if you want to just be a nice person and throw us some cash because maybe you feel like karma would be good for you that way. These guys work hard. I'll throw them a couple bucks. Very easy to do that over at PayPal. Use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com.
Right.
All that shit. The only thing left here, Jimmy, is I need something.
Oh boy.
I need to feel in my heart.
Long?
Because
I got something long.
I need you to. It's long.
It's a list. It's so
long. It's long and it's limp though. It flaps like paper because it is paper.
Yeah.
I need the list of the best fucking people in the world, the people who keep this show going, the smart people out there. Hit me with it, Jimmy, right now. Toss me right over the bridge.
This week's executive producers are Gianna DeLuca, Joseph Wizentiak, Rick and Amanda fucking Radford. That's who that is. Let's see here. Lizette Stafford, what did I do? Carolyn Davis, Gina Colon, Rick Adeo, Douglas Wilson, Aileen Laura Stein, Dylan Derringer, Kelly Mack, Felicity Stratton, Josie McGregor, Allison with no last name, Gabby McGohey, Julie Kinsey. Happy birthday to Heather Norton's son.
Happy birthday.
She didn't give us his name, so we get to name him. Is it Dylan? Is it
Roger?
That's his name. Good. Happy birthday, Roger.
Hey, little Rog. Good job.
Belinda Reed, Mouse, Celeste Pettyjohn, Taylor Cook, Jan Rechbrunner, Angela Duncan, Eden Finelli, Jennifer Keelman, Blake Almond, I think that's right, Mandy Ronning, Ariel Connor, David Edinger, Dustin Bush, Liam Ashton, Amanda Murphy, Carol Braun, Jordan Bennett, Tonya Volanek, Michelle Hayes, Paul Ruest, Melissa Turner, Elizabeth Goldstein, Sabrina Jones, Pamela Sloan, the original Pamela. Martha Kirkland, Connie and Sean Young, Kristen Henderson, Jessica Fernandez, and Emily Vasic. You guys, thank you so much. Other producers this week are Graham Wilson, Lisa Stanton, Aaron Cooper, I think. Is that Cowder? Oh, my. This is going to be a long day. Lee Sims, Danielle Loveland, Thomas Smith, Kayla Dunphy, Janice Hill, Bridger Creed, CGB.
There you go.
Those are just letters, Jimmy. Lacey Norris, Lucy Stacy, James Martyr, Brian Starr, Alex Lopez, Charmaine Valley, Jude Ellis, Eclese, Trisha Ann Conley, Andrea Webster, Dustin Johnson, Ryan Sargent, Liz Vasquez, Cheyenne Gibson, Jason Bonitata, and Owen Vogelsberger. Anna Vogelsberger. Why did my voice change? Jackie Sukup, Martina Lualonga, Reagan Shalkley, Rebecca Stanovich, Susan. What did I do? Shan Hickey, I think. Joshua Hennick, Bradley Spencer, Elizabeth Britton, Chanel Mendiola, Jude Kendall, Laura Jackson, Trinity Divelbus, Brendan Abels. God damn, sorry, Jim. Sorry,
we know him.
I know. Carl Kirshner, Russ Linderman, Kim Hodgkins, Emery McGaha, Kira Lemming, Brooke Kale, Peyton Meadows, Andrea Calkins, Tracy Renninger, Lisa Jackson, Mitch Worthington, Aaron Gerber, James Aseltza, Susan Platt, Ashley Vio, Aaron Huff, Cheryl Horde, Gary Howard, Leroy Walker, Heather Norton, there's Heather, Melissa Keller, I think I wrote, Nate Kohler, Susan Gail Galty. I think it's Gail. Amanda Coleman, Brian Killian, Bill McClellan, Patrick Lord, Michael Hogue, Dennis O'Malley, Julie Mate, or I think.
All right.
I don't know.
I'll buy that.
Julia Barnes, Amanda Knight, Alana Tabarez, Pamela Ornelas, Calla Collins, Brielle with no last name, Christina Preventure. Fucking hell. Christ. Chelsea, is that Chelsea?
After the first page, he starts to fall apart. I love it. The wheels coming. He's like, I'm going to do this straight. I'm going to burn right. I'm going to get right through them. And then by the end of the first page, he's like,
they're definitely wobbling. Chelsea Bowling, Jen with no last name, Monica Cruz, Christy with no last name, Josiah with no last name, Kennard, what is that? No, it's Kenna Rob, 83,
Okay.
Charlia or Charlie, Enoch, Willaminge, come on, Willaminge. Minge, Witty?
Hey, Minge.
Hey, Minge. Bring that Minge over. Jessica Gilkins, Michelle Hinton, Tatum Zeitchik, Emma Butler, Emily Blake, Devin Rowland, Brooke Dover, that's Ben's sister, obviously.
Hey, clearly.
Fred with no last name, Chantel Hilsinger, Amanda Ferguson, M.R. Phibbs, not Mr., Melissa Kimball, Bree, what did I do? Renew.
Hey.
Renew?
Renew.
I think so. Aaron Hudson, Crystal Reed, Melanie Flynn, Sarah Davis, Christy Morrison, Andy Gutierrez, Jisoo Kim, Cat I or Cat 1, I don't know what that was. I wrote that weird. Lance Danger, Candace with no last name, Charles with no last name, Everett Hampton, Joanne H, Mark Langulis, Kaylee Deal, Chrissy Kugis, Krista Gilson, Ellis Martin, Kristen Wilkins, Victoria Barricks. Nope. Annie B with no last name. That's just a B. Amanda Arroyo, Julie Zaniboni, Jeffrey Alt, Georgina Johnson, Amy Eichard, Kel McDonald, Adam Campbell, NC, Megan with no last name, Mouse with no last name, Joey Malau, Dan Wenzel, Maya Crefield. Yep. Karen Hamrock, Amira, it is Amaria, Maria Holloman, Lindsay Pafana Steele? No, probably not. Missy Hoover, Jennifer Lamb, Autumn Chapman. Jennifer Lamb is so easy. Thank you, Jen.
That's a nice easy one.
Zinty Lovelace, Diane with no last name, Christina Rittenauer, Joseph Lacrino? No. Nick Castle, Brandon Shepard, Danny Parton, Elizabeth Campbell, Mackie Hempel, Scott Bradford, Jordan Selmer, Daniel Perry, Jenny Smith Fisk, Riot Mom. Oh, that's easy. Riot Mom.
Hey.
Abby Temple, Noah Davis, Aaron Rulker, Georgia Tuma, Kate Van Brussel, Sarah Center, Abby Temple, I said that, Tish Wellis, Josie Pringle, no, Prince, that's what that is, John Douglas, Paige Winters, Dave Cohen, Rachel Palouse, William Shelley? What did I do? No, William Shue, Samantha Bivens, Kelsey Capraro, Meg Hassick Watt. That's two last names. Megan McKibben, Alfred Jensen, Matthew Richardson, Dan Kaufman, Chris Kennedy, Amanda Marie, Glenn with no last name, Erica Kalin, Chris Kennedy, Chris with no last name, Daphne June, Glenn with no last name. I said that. Robert Alacina? Nope. Sadie's Winsheimer, Billy Bob Baker, Jamie Grafton, Angela Summerlot, Linda M, Nikki Boo Boo, Chrissy McDonald, Dina Landman, Morgan Schultz, Ryan Loafing, Jesse Rotz. Oh boy,
Jesse Rotz.
Yeah,
the last one was loafing, and this one's rotting.
Rotting and loafing.
Jesus.
Marina Buell. Marina Buell. Kendall Lennon. Austin Kugendell. Shit. Claire Nelson, Heather Alwaysy, Sarah Harrington, Veronica Manning, Cody with no last name, Jessica Hedelen, probably not, Nicole Breyer, Heather Briggs, Bonnie Hunt, Nicole and Ashley Thompson, Nikki Carr, Laura Burton, Raymond Smith, Edward Possible Sissel. Yep. That's not it either. Derek Kotlowski, Eric Simmons, Sophia with no last name, Aaron Simon, Adam Simon, Jesus, Stacy Judd, Allison Bennett, Alexander Michael Beesenford, Brittany McDonald, Ashley Yervis, Roska Piotr. No.
Yikes.
Roska Prori. Duck Hunter, that's probably not real, right?
Duck Hunter?
No, probably not. Amy Paulson,
Cool name.
I wish it was.
Yeah.
Thomas Christo, Bridget A., Juliana Wolf, Brittany Alvis, Melanie Darcy, Kaylee Atwood, Katrina Leibowitz, Brett Stoker, Kendall Kendis, Cadence, Zelenia, Virginia Stringfellow, Asic, Prick, what is that? Rollins is their last name. Asikic? No. Allison Rye, Darwin, Darwin Heron, Craig Rustin, Sarah Acosta, Dustin Howlett, Mark Rebel, William Rice, Ryan Keane, Kim Wilkening, Cheryl Malone, Alyssa Taylor, Jessica Fiore, Will Taffet, Caitlin Blythe, Amy Eichinger, Nancy Baca, Tim Waller, Tony with no last name, Michael Dickinson, Sarah Slusher of the Slush Puppy Fortune, Seda with no last name, Sean Daly, Christopher Abishaw, Courtney Pearson, Cam Payton, Whitney Robinson, Matt Reyes, Susan Anderson, Melissa Tremont, Marla with no last name, Richard Bissett, Jenny McCulley, Erica Kimberly, Caitlin Hallstrom, Connor Watson, Sarah Sparks, Bailey Cohen, Kelly Ruan, Heather Duffy, Quentin Rowland, Sean Condon, Rose Jarman, Alex St. Vincent, Lily Bensley, Sarah Smith, Ciara Holme, Shari Heiler, Justin Wiersma, Tammy Jirac, Devin Silva,
Deep breath, Jimmy.
Emma DeLong, Matt Cock, Jack with no last name, Kate Brown, Sean with no last name, Kathleen Kaliher.
Get to page 4. It's Matt Cock. He doesn't even care anymore.
Carolina Nunez Pacheco, Mandingo Milker. What is that?
What the fuck?
No way.
That's the best name so
Mandingo Milker. That's what I wrote.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. Is that really what somebody... Merk.
Oh.
M-E-R-K.
That's much better.
That doesn't say...
Mandingo Milker.
I'm a bad writer, but I made it awesome. Kathleen Kelleher, Mackenzie Johnson, Michael Keenan, Brent Tyler, Maggie Beck, Ellie with no last name, Angela Bazamore, Roxanne Cooper, Patrick Sparks, Kelly with no last name, Crystal Winfrey, Ashley Henderson, Jamie Ulrich, Jose Del Rio, Chelsea with no last name, Ronald Ross, Kate Lovell, Pennell with no last name, Sydney Dodson, Jaretta McDermott, Murdenovich. How do you get both of those, Jimmy? Erica Hernandez, Ryan Milligan, Kyle with no last name, Emma Verm, Tyler Sloan, Drew Griffin, Cameron Pribe, Hannah Orme, Heather Duffy, Damian Cloder, Georgette King, Jennifer with no last name, Joseph Berg, Samantha Blythe, Mark Swim, Trevor Richards, Lauren Hoffman, Travis Wood, NC, Jessica McGonigal, Alan with no last name, Emma Vierm, Erica Hernandez, Tyler Sloan, Drew Griffin, Joan Weipert, Donald LeBeau, Dan Montcalm, Natalie Hostowski, Caitlin Granger, Brad Cole, Brent Wilcox. You're damn right he will.
Home stretch.
The last page. Brian Cotton, Vincent Wary. Ryan D is a bald-headed prick and loves to suck on ball sacks. Love Blair Bodner.
If he loves to suck on ball sacks,
we got to talk about.
Are they bald ball sacks?
I'm not sure. He is. Grace Gaglione, Will Mozingo, Sarah Pignotti, Matt Napolitano, Pat Stockdale, Joe DeSantis, Vincent Wary, I think I said that, Jessica Chadwick, Justin Geardes, Tanner Feltz, I don't know what he felt, Jody Fleming, Tyler Hickey, Anamala Maldanadu.
Wow.
That's a fucking rough one.
Anamala Xanadu?
That's it. Okay. Julia Ritchie, Erica Frazier, Kristen Hoover, Autumn Werscher, Sean Dimmick, Don Smith, K.S. Amelia with no last name, Ralph Heil, no fucking way. Joey with no last name. Little Paper Forest. All right. Paige Sunderland. Sonia Suter. Jake with no last name. Jenna Lee. Stephanie Davison, Sarah Bornman, Piper V, Lindsay Fina, Jesse H, Ramona B, Scott Frazier, Krista McConnell, Tiffany Day, Dan Pudlowski, Jesse H, Beth Story, Kyle Koenig, Molly Waltz, Joseph Telligin, Scott Moorhead, Darnell Adams, Brian Gut-Tween, Max Hutchison, Kyle with no last name, Jordan with no last name, Danielle with no last name, Chris with no last name, McGraves, Pat Page, Lewis, Julie Jones, Robert Furicht. That feels weird. Aaron Fitz, Sam Marshall, Kim Flutterman, Douglas McGowan, Christina Billy, Chad Riley, Alex with no last name, Crystal Kramer, and all of our goddamn Patreon donors. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Honestly, man, you guys you're the best.
It's really watching that list grow to what it is today from day one. It's amazing.
It's wild, man.
You guys are incredible.
When we first signed up for Patreon, we were like, no one's going to give us any fucking money. And then I remember at one point it was like $60 and we were like, cool.
I'm going to eat today.
I was like, I can buy note cards and shit, like show supplies for it. And so it's just thank you guys for hanging in there with us and for listening to us and for spreading the word and continue to spread our word. Like I said, and any other podcast you listen to, spread their word as well. It really is a good thing. This is a free something that this doesn't come around very often to have not this show I'm talking, but to have this free platform with people working hard and doing all this to put a show out for you.
And not just
that's
free
a lot. That's podcasts. That's the whole industry.
Right. Not free just terms of monetary, but also in terms of nobody fucking tells us what to do except you guys. Yeah. And we love that.
Free total. No network telling anybody what to do. And we don't. We've stayed independent. There's a lot of people out there that are, and there's if we wanted to join, there's a bunch of networks out there that if we wanted to be on those networks, they promote you more and shit like that. But we don't want to be apart. We want to stay very independent. So the network we're with doesn't say shit about us. Right. They don't promote us either, but they don't fucking say shit about us to us either. So it's like they're not trying to talk us into being a clean show or to break it up into 4 sections to maximize ad revenue or bullshit like that, like we've had in the past with networks. So
the moving the fucking cup with the ball in it, and you got 3 fucking shells. I don't want that.
Or telling us ad rates and then going, oh no, we changed our minds, you're getting less money than that, or bullshit like that.
Oh, and then you know what, I know that we told you that we're going to pay you, but we're
actually not.
We're going to get you in like 6 months. And then 6 months come around, you know, can you give us 6 more?
Can you give us 90 days of 180? Make it 180. So
fuck that.
Yeah, not anymore anyway, which is good, but that's because of you guys, and we want to keep it because of you guys that way and never let anybody fuck with it or touch it besides us. So thank you for allowing us to do that. And what if they wanted to thank you, Jimmy? How do they get a hold of you?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook's Jimmy Whisman, but it doesn't matter because I have too many friends.
Full.
What about you? Where can they find your pages?
You can find me at Jimmy P is Funny, or just copy and paste my name from the show description on there and all the places. Yeah, Facebook, I'm full. Actually, I have to accept a few requests because I just deleted 10 people because of their stupid politics yesterday. Awesome. I couldn't take it anymore. Right. I was going through my list going, you're dumb, click, gone, you're a moron, see you later. Like, you're never going to say anything of value if you, and I don't just mean any political opinion I don't agree with, particularly extra stupid ones where I'm like, if you're dumb enough to think that, nothing you ever say will be of any value.
Not think,
you're
but believe.
That stupid.
To be,
I would never believe anything you said because you're dumb. Clearly. So I
like to go through my friends list from time to time, and it's when I have 20, 30 minutes, and you can scroll through all your friends and find the ones that have deactivated their Facebook. And goodbye.
Goodbye. Don't need you.
Goodbye. And I got rid of 40.
That's great.
And then just
I got to do that.
Had a fucking a stampede of new friends, and it felt great.
Fucking beautiful. I love it. Yeah,
so
we got to do that.
Thank you.
Accept listeners and dump our old comic idiot friends.
I did that.
That feels great.
Feels so good.
Yeah, it does.
To see somebody that has a shitload of local comic friends, and then to see that I have very few mutuals with them anymore. Yeah, gutturally, I smile.
Yeah, and
it feels good.
And by the way, comics who didn't who never made a fucking dime anyway doing comedy, stop complaining about that you can't fucking do comedy. The people that worked there that served the drinks actually made a living off that place. They can complain. You don't have a place to go sit and fucking dick off and drink with your friends a couple nights a week. Shut the fuck up. You didn't you were worthless and taking up space anyway.
Day 42 of no stage. Up. Eat dicks, sir.
Try to reschedule sold out theater shows, then fucking complain to me, assholes.
Use those 42 days to write some jokes.
And celebrities, stop making podcasts! Cocksuckers!
Get out!
That said, until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.